rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy
This
body
time I'm
full
hitting
of
record.
tats.
So when I recorded Friday with James, I didn't hit record the second time.
No, which James?
So you wouldn't know him.
Okay.
It's a pastor from the church that we're joining.
All right.
And he's been on before. And we did a talk about basically God and nerd culture and how like there were some crossovers and specifically talking about supernatural and how they approached a lot of biblical lore and stuff like that and where that fit into some of the particular missing parts of the Bible.
All right.
So that was fun. So, but what happened Friday, thank God I had the cameras rolling. You can put your drink right over there. It'll be okay. I mean, if you're over here, you'll be fine. Yeah. So I didn't hit record on the machine, but the cameras were rolling. So what I had to do was take the audio from that footage, and because both cameras are both recording both of our audio, I had to balance as best as I could between the two footage, and I was chopping back and forth.
Oh Lord! So it was a vaudeville
And
silent film.
it was 27 minutes of that, and then I realized the thing wasn't working. So once I got past that point, all I did was have to chop the video itself, which is what I'll do on this. But once again, the video is only for the Patreon anyways. All right, so back to it now that Jeff is settled. So guys, welcome back to the Now You Made It Awkward podcast. This is episode 82. I just literally finished editing at episode 81 this morning to go out for the normies. But last time I had Jeff with me. Last time I had James with me. Today I've got another J name. I've got Jeff with me here. Squirrely Jeff, as we'll call him probably, just for fun. So welcome. Welcome to the SHOKY Cave.
Thank you, bud.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast, by all means. And once again, don't be too afraid of that thing.
Yeah, it's there. It ain't gonna bite.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to get it like up in your face, you know, yeah, just get it. Yeah, go point it at you. It is directional, so talking to the end of it.
Okay, not a problem.
Like this, you know. So yeah, so Jeff is a newbie to podcasting, but he volunteered when I reached out for volunteers. Realistically, and he said, "Hey, I can talk and do stuff," and I was like, "Okay." It's like,
Better with beer, but
I mean, well, there is beer, but you have to work, and there is a dog. So, and we do have Cora visiting as well. She's a big old puppy.
yeah,
She's
she's
a
a
cutie.
rescue I picked up yesterday.
Yeah, we'll include footage of Cora later. My third phone is currently updating and charging, or else I'd have 3 different frames of footage. Because one thing I wanted to do was have one on each of us, and then have one like somewhere with a wide shot.
Yeah.
Kind of situation, but I just felt like I wanted to give myself far more editing to do, you know. So I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous editing the last one with James, but we did have a good conversation. Though right off the bat, I do have to ask: do you have any stories about how, whenever you went off to college, you started dating a girl by the same name as your previous girlfriend?
No, not at all. Didn't go to college.
Okay,
But
so
I did marry
military though.
I did marry a woman with the same name as my sister.
Okay, that's a different kind of weird.
I just got a bad memory. I had to get something I could figure out.
Yeah, that was easy to like. I remember this one, but no, because that was one of the features of James joining the other day. Was he went off to college and hooked up with a girl of the same name of the girl he had been dating for 9 years.
Oh dear. Well, once again, made it easy.
Did make it easy, and so that's a little teaser if anybody hasn't seen the previous episode. Actually, because I usually do a different title for the uncut version, which you can get on the SHOKY Patreon, including with video. As I already mentioned, there are video cameras. So if you want to go help support all my channels, you can do so at the SHOKY Reviews Patreon. But of course, if you are interested in writing into this show, you can do so at NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail at gmail.com, which is down in the description. So you don't have to remember how to spell that. You can just right click and go, hey, I want to do that. So write in with comments, questions, and whatever. You know, and then hopefully next time I'll have my phone so I can actually read it, because right now my phone is busy being a camera. Which also, fun fact, it damn near ran out of footage with about 20 minutes to spare. It clicked off, and it's like, nope, we're not doing it anymore. And then it still had 12 minutes. So after I transferred a whole bunch of stuff over to the new one, I said, screw it, and I went and I deleted like 3,000 pictures. No joke, 3,000
They
pictures.
accumulate, man. I have to do that at least every 2 or 3 months just to keep things cleared out.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, I mean, there is some important stuff, and I started sorting that into other folders. But like I deleted like endless pictures of like the toys and stuff. Like didn't get to show you the actual cave yet, but we'll do a tour later because she can't go in there, so I don't want to risk anything there.
Yeah, no baby buffalo in there.
No. That tail will cause complete and utter chaos in there. So either way, and also we don't have any comments because the last episode hasn't posted, so don't have to worry about that. So normally I'll read comments or emails at the beginning. Yeah, there's complaints are rarer, but they do happen, but not very often. Also, guys, you can follow us on Rumble. It is on Rumble if you don't want to deal with YouTube bullshit and you want to have mini player that you can have the phone closed and keep listening. You can do that, but also any other podcast platform as well. So I don't know what else to go through at this particular moment. So. Once again, Jeff, welcome to the show. Welcome to your audition,
Right?
As it goes, you know. So, are you nervous?
No, not really.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I know you can talk. It's just you've never had to talk in a
It's
semi-professional
better to
manner.
let people think you're dumb than to open your mouth and confirm.
Yeah, or to remove all doubt, as it says. Yeah, better to be thought an idiot than open one's mouth and
old
remove
Samuel
all
Clemens.
doubt. Yep. So, Samuel Clemens. But, yeah, so the Grand Tour.
Yes.
We'll just jump right in.
One of my absolute favorite shows to ever come on.
Exactly. And also, you know,
Top Gear.
coincidentally, Top Gear's ending too.
Yeah.
Like officially, like for at least
They've
as
been
far as
ending
we know.
for years, though.
They've rebuilt themselves over and over, but now it's like going away.
But it was so hard for them to recapture the chemistry that the main three had.
And it's only taken them like 5 different casts, and they still haven't managed it. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, they had... I think
Matt LeBlanc, really?
Matt LeBlanc was okay, but it was the other guys. Like, what was his name? Chris... was it Chris Evans? I think his name was Chris Evans, the guy with the glasses, the radio host. Like, he's a car guy, and he's a host of a thing, but he doesn't do car journalism.
No.
It's like, but that was the biggest thing is that Clarkson, May, and Hammond were all car journalists.
All
already.
hired and fired by car magazines.
Yes. And so they already knew how to do that job, and they all had some type of presenter background already. Richard was a radio host. James did other stuff. And Clarkson had been doing videos on cars for a decade before even coming to Top Gear. And then, you know, did the tail end of original Top Gear. And then when they brought it back in 2005, no, that was Doctor Who. It came back before that, 2000.
2000, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, the Doctor Who revival was in 2005. The Top Gear revival was in 2000, which was crazy because some of the stuff they did, or he did, right before Top Gear came back, I forgot. I don't know exactly which Clarkson video it was, but I saw a clip of it while I was in automotive school.
All right.
And it was him, and he was doing a video about the McLaren F1. And he had I was going to say airstrip, as you do.
What, he was just bombing around it, screaming power? And,
yeah, he did that. But the thing is that he was testing the McLaren F1, at that point, the fastest car or production car in the world. And he said, what we're going to see now is the difference between a really, really fast car and the McLaren F1. And it was an R32 Skyline. And they did a drag race. And of course, it just the Skyline got obliterated, but that was the point.
No,
it's like, because the Skyline is already a really fast car.
Right.
But the McLaren, well, it's literally a different league. So that was my first introduction to Clarkson. Back then, of course, I had no idea about, Richard Hammond was still not quite 10 years away from joining Top Gear.
Right.
And because I didn't start watching Top Gear proper until probably 2004.
I'm about right there, maybe a little later.
Yeah.
But as soon as it came on Netflix, I jumped on it and watched all the back catalog.
See, I watched all of it from the revival because I found some of the older episodes because it's back when I was torrenting everything. Obviously, I couldn't find it to watch, so I was just torrenting every single week. And I got like the couple seasons I had missed. Like, I think I started right before James May, or right. Hold on, wait. a little after James May came on. So
Right.
James came in the second season.
Yeah, second season.
Because the first one was Jason, and whatever happened with him, he was gone.
Right.
But he didn't really do a lot of the on-screen stuff that the other two did, where James really came in and did that. A young James May. You know?
Young James May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to think Hammond is the youngest one.
He was like 12.
Yeah. It's like, but remember, Hammond was also like 35 for a really long time.
Right.
That's what happens when you keep having car accidents.
He had a few of them.
Just on Top Gear.
Man.
Well, the one that actually...
The rocket car.
The rocket car nearly killed him. He was in a coma for, I think, 2 weeks or something like that. And then he was in a hospital for like 2.5 months.
Because you could see on one of the previous passes, something fell off.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, is it was just the tire blew out.
That's it. You could see the tire groove stripping.
Yeah, yeah. So the front right tire blew off. It dug into the thing, hooked a hard right at 400 plus miles an hour, and then he started flipping. But then when it finally stopped flipping, he was face down going into the dirt. The roll cage, your hair just went underneath the... For everybody who's for the patrons watching, would have seen Jeff just fuck his own hair up, which is funny. Right. That's okay. When I had hair last year, I did the same thing because I grew my hair out last year. But like it was a different, because I was used to Auto Week and shows like that on PBS.
See, I was more the trucks and the Motor Trend and everything that was on every Saturday after all the cartoons.
Okay, yeah. So, well, I mean, to be fair, you are slightly older than me.
I'm, 39 now?
Oh, so you're younger than me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just look like...
You just look old as shit.
I look bad, man.
I just insulted myself. So here's the problem. So I watched Motor Week, and then there was another show that came on right after Motor Week, or right before Motor Week. It was like... dude with a big old mustache and a flat cap, and he
did all the vintage.
He did all the vintage cars.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
So I watched all that kind of car content growing up, just on PBS, because we only had regular TV, no cable. So whenever it got to later on, and things like Overhauling, American Hot Rod, all those shows where they started customizing shit.
Yeah, that's what I broke my teeth on, watching car culture.
Yeah, all that car culture stuff like that. Because Top Gear was mostly about faffing about.
It was an entertainment show that had cars in it.
And it was somewhat informative.
Somewhat.
There was
if you've got $350,000 to throw around.
Well, I mean, they did show, but remember they would do a lot of their cheap car challenges.
Of course, and they hated most of them.
Most of them, but I mean, like there were so many good ones. I mean, I would have never known about European cars to that degree. I mean, I knew Ferraris and I knew Lambos and I knew Porsches because I had all the posters. Like literally. So growing up, my entire area of my bedroom surrounding my desk and my bed was nothing but car posters, big and small. I tore apart like 2 or 3 calendars. So there was so many of those. And then the book fairs came to town. So I would get the Lamborghini poster, the Ferrari poster. Right. It's like a lot of guys had like pictures of chicks in bikinis on their wall. It's like, no, I'm just literally throwing hot rods and muscle cars and all this other stuff up there. Not that I didn't want chicks with things, but my friend had that. So I just went over next door to go check out his posters instead. Because he had the banana bikini of
there you go.
You know who I'm referring to? Yeah. So but yeah, like so I just watched The Sand Job, which is the second to last.
I thought it was the final.
Nope, there's one more.
Thank goodness.
Hammond confirmed there's at least one more that they're done.
I was rather disappointed that they just said thanks and we'll see you next time. No ending, no thank you, no nothing.
So that's the problem is people. It was misreported that The Sand Job was the closing of the Grand Tour. And for those who don't follow along, the Grand Tour is the spiritual successor to Top Gear because it's literally the same 3 guys essentially doing the same job, but once they got out of the studio because of COVID, the show just turned into their epic road trips.
It got so much better.
I mean, yes.
You know, like the whole Madagascar episode, that was kind of... one disappointed
Madagascar. Yes. So they also did super punny names for the most part for the episodes. And they're movies. They're road movies. Yeah. They're 2-hour epics, you know, all shot and with Amazon's glorious money. You know, Jeff Bezos just throwing millions upon millions of dollars. And what was the one where they built I forgot which country in Africa, because it's always Africa, where they had to build the bridge across.
That was basically the bridge over the River Kwai.
It was.
No, but it wound up being
They
wound up being the River Dong.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't the River Kwai. It was
to
renamed to the
Burma.
River Dong. Burma. That's correct.
Where they were all in trucks.
They were in big trucks, and they had to drive through the rainforest and everything else like that. That's right. And then they did
partied with the locals.
Yes,
that was man.
And Richard was losing his mind going through the jungles and bugs and snakes and everything coming in, and he was just freaking the fuck out.
Yeah,
because he had basically like a Land Cruiser. The other ones had the bigger trucks. Well, okay, maybe I'm getting confused.
No.
I'm getting them confused. That was South America.
Yes.
That was in South America. Right?
Yeah, in Burma, May had the truck with a crane on it.
That's right.
And
then Richard had the one where
it was basically an empty box in the back.
Flat.
He turned it into basically a small
made like a
camper.
cabin. Yeah, that's right. And then Jeremy
had the sports lorry.
Had the sports lorry, of course. Yeah. And then was that the one where May completely makes this thing look like an Indian, like completely decks it out?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's the same one. Once again, they play with horses, and May gets hurt.
It's true.
With his five-legged horse.
I forgot about that. That's true. The five-legged horse.
They have the worst luck with horses.
They should just not.
Even in Mongolia.
Mongolia was a good one too.
Once again, Hammond this time fell off a horse.
Yeah. But one of my favorite things was still in Top Gear, and that was was it the Vietnam?
Where they were on the motorcycles. That was epic. That was
they drove completely across Vietnam on motorcycles. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the first ones that was in proper HD.
Yes.
As well. Because that was with the new digital revolution. But they got some amazing, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. It's not because the AC just kicked on.
They got great footage and fantastic footage of Jeremy Clarkson being absolutely miserable, hating every second of every day.
Yes.
Crashing multiple times.
Okay, but nobody beats Hammond for crashing multiple times.
Africa hauling
the fish.
On the stupid motorcycle in the mud.
Yes. On that road of solid mud. Holy shit, dude.
It had to have been on film at least 25 or 30 times.
I think he said he fell like over 90 times.
Good gosh, that's insane.
Something like that. If for anybody who doesn't know this, they do other content. Like there's
other than being idiots.
Yeah. So on Amazon alone, there's Clarkson's Farm. It's where he bought the farm and he's tried to make a legit go at it.
Had no clue what he was doing.
Literally no clue. And I actually enjoy Clarkson's Farm, even though he clearly throwing away lots of money. But I think he's doing his tax write-off.
But he's getting subsidies.
But he also enjoys it. Yeah, there's the subsidies. That's true. But wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up.
I'm up early today. Yeah.
Wake up. So yeah, Jeff here works overnights, so he's actually up awake early in the middle of the afternoon to come and hang out here. So what was I saying? Oh, okay. So Clarkson's Farm. And then May has like all his travel shows and cooking shows that are all on Amazon.
He's Cook.
Yeah, there's
2 seasons of that.
Yep, I didn't finish
Our
the
Man
second.
in Japan, Italy, and what's coming up next?
India, I thought.
Yes.
So I've seen the first 2. Oh, it was Our Man in Japan.
Yep.
You said that.
Yep.
Our Man in Italy, which I thought wasn't quite as good, but it was cool.
Anything with James May hanging out being himself.
But see, did you ever watch...
Even the old James May, the Reassembler. Did you see those?
I didn't see Reassembler. I saw it was called something else.
It was the most boring thing, but for some reason, sitting around doing nothing, it's entertaining. Watching him meticulously put together an old lawnmower, guitar, phone, mixer.
Yeah. I didn't watch that as much as I watched Toy Stories.
Yes, those were good too.
That was a great show.
Or Man Lab.
Man Lab was cool too. But also the one where he, what was the one where he went around drinking with his friend?
I didn't see that one.
You never saw that?
Ooh,
okay. That was a proper BBC show.
Okay.
So he went. I forgot what his friend's name was, but they would tour.
Is it the same bald guy that was in Man Lab?
Yes.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
And I can't Google things right now. You can. He's like, wait, you have a Googling device. So
I have Smartbox.
Yes. So I forgot what it was called though, but basically, like that's how eventually James Gin came about.
Yes.
Because he basically went to vineyards and toured bars and other things like that. And that's how that came about.
Oz and James Drink to Britain?
That. Yes. Yeah, Oz. That's his name. And they would get into fights everywhere. You know.
I need to find that and watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea where that would be.
I may have to put a pause on my NCIS binge.
You might.
Yeah.
Because I think it's only like 2 seasons. Or maybe 3. I don't know. Because there are only so many of them made it here.
Right. Well, I got 24 of the other, or 22.
Yeah, true.
I'm good for a minute.
Yeah, there you go. So the other thing is that Hammond has his own thing called the smallest cog. So he now has his own workshop where they build cars and restore things.
You said cog.
Cog.
Oh,
So, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so it's a Top Gear reference, not that he has a tiny penis.
Yeah.
So that is a... where is that available? Forgot where, I think that's on BBC or somewhere specifically. There's a place that is specifically aired, and it's not on Amazon, I don't think, or I'm an idiot, which is always possible. But the thing is they do shorter content on Drive Tribe that involves that. So Drive Tribe has been like a secondary outlet from like Top Gear through the Grand Tour.
That was their transitionary
Yeah.
place for them to be and produce content.
Yeah. So and Drive
After
Tribe still
Clarkson
goes.
punched out the producer.
He hit him once, and he deserved it. And I think it was a production assistant. Really is really what that guy was. But look, they had already gotten into trouble in South America, so it is what it was. The Argentina tour.
Oh, that Falkland debacle.
The Falkland,
Was
and that was
irritating.
bullshit. Is really what that was. Like that was a lot of bullshit. He did not make that license plate. He said up and down. They didn't get custom license plates. They bought the cars, had to import them there, and just got license plates so they could drive them around. I'm scared to move my feet because her head is like right there.
She won't bite.
No, I'm scared I'm going to step on her head. I mean, she's big as fuck, but I ain't going to step on her
She's
head.
only 120 pounds.
Yeah.
That's little compared to us.
Yeah. So Drive Tribe is still going. Smallest Cog is making side content through that, all on YouTube. So, like you said, that was their interim thing. And I still watch that every week. And the cool thing is like Richard Hammond right now is teaching his oldest daughter, Izzy, to be interested in cars.
They're actually jumping in on podcasts together.
Yes. So I saw that because they're making her a bit more like the next generation without being the next generation. What?
I'm getting some buzz.
Oh, is it clicking or is it just a light buzz?
Light buzz.
Oh, it might be because it's close to the wire there. Yeah, it does that sometimes. It's just coming through the headphones.
That was my phone.
Dude, so when I'm editing, so all my audio goes through this on the computer. When I'm editing, I will get a buzzing and a clicking. Mm-hmm. And it'll do it all the time, even if I keep the cord away from everything else.
Okay, but it never comes through the recording?
No.
Okay.
The only time that happens is on the phone when I'm using an external mic and somebody's trying to call me. Even though I'm on full silence.
Right.
But because it's trying to use the microphone as a speaker and a microphone at the same time, it causes weird...
I gotcha.
And it does it the whole time anything's going on. So, yeah. No, there's weird electrical interference. And I think it's just the headphones. I think these are just cheapo cords. And I don't know if there's any external shielding I can add to it. I don't want to buy new headphones.
Oh, well, moving on.
Yeah. I don't think these come unplugged. No. Either way. But, so the cool part was with Izzy, first he taught her how to do skids in the Ram TRX that the Drive Tribe was currently testing. And they ended up setting fire to a field.
I saw some of that. That's a ridiculous truck.
It got so hot underneath that thing, and they parked just long enough on dry grass that it actually caught fire.
No way.
Yeah.
What was it, the brakes or the tires heating up?
It was the exhaust.
No.
Yeah.
True, that is 714 horsepower.
Yeah. So they were doing. He was teaching her how to do figure eights and donuts in a pasture that's like right down from their place because he's out in the middle of nowhere. Like James is the only one who likes to live near the city. Clarkson and Hammond are way the hell out. And so she had a lot of fun doing that, and then of course nearly set fire to the truck. So they're doing a long-term, like year-long test on the TRX.
Oh, nice.
For Drive Tribe. So they're taking it everywhere.
I just don't see that working well.
You'd be amazed. Like they love it, which is hilarious.
That whole 8 miles a gallon?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, and on tiny British streets. But at least it's not the Hennessy version.
True.
If it was the Hennessy version, I mean, I'm sure that. Well, I don't know if Clarkson would go for something that's stupidly powerful for home use.
Only for entertainment.
Yeah, because he's like 60. He was only 63.
Oh, his preferred's that Golf GTI. That's his preferred daily.
Yeah, it's a great car.
Yep.
So in the stages, it was teach her how to do donuts in the truck. Then it was take her to a rally driving school to learn how to drive off-road in a rally car. So he got her doing that in an old Subaru and then a slightly better Subaru.
Right.
Driving in the mud, learning a track, learning how to go around corners, all that kind of stuff. And then the latest episode that came out last weekend was her going for a drive in his, do you remember Martin?
Martin.
So it was from the Scandaflick special.
Yes.
The Subaru.
That's it.
And he put the Martini.
And Clarkson
livery.
blacked out the eye.
Yes.
So it was Martin Racing.
So it became Martin. So it was named Martin. And then he has a bigger habit than anyone else of repurchasing his cars after the fact.
He's got a bunch of them.
He's got a lot. In fact, speaking of
the Opel Kadett.
Yes. So he still has
Oliver.
He still has Oliver. But Oliver has a girlfriend now.
Uh-oh.
Yep. So another Opel Kadett that he's getting fixed up, and I think it's for his wife.
To give it credit, though, that little thing was unmodified. And
Mostly unmodified.
And went everywhere everything else did.
He did put new tires and a couple other things with the ignition to get it fixed.
Yep.
Repaired it on the side of a river after flooding it.
And shooting a hole.
Literally
in the
flooding
floorboard.
it, shooting a hole in the floor to drain. But he brought back Martin to the UK. Had it all fixed up on Drive's dime. Like all new body, all the body work redone. Brand new 550 horsepower motor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big boy.
Big boy. From a 4-cylinder. Stupid powerful. And it still has the switch for the power levels. So it's toot around at like 350 and then go immediately to 500. So he was teaching her how to drive it because she'd never driven anything that powerful that wasn't a giant truck at that point. So they're in somewhere up north, where it was like a national park, where they used to do a lot of those cool, nice drives. And so he's teaching her to... Go ahead.
Really?
Mine are all dead, so nothing's coming across for me. A lot of kids
That's
getting...
not me, Brogan.
Who's beeping then? Oh, maybe it's that one. I was like, these two are on Do Not
Stop
Disturb.
interrupting.
Well, it's funny that yours didn't go off. The one that has nothing on it went off.
I disabled all of mine. I got tired of it.
Yeah, I haven't figured that part out.
oops.
Yeah. So it
Screw
was the
the
new
kids.
one. Sorry to Jeff of accusing him of his phone going off. A lot of kids getting kidnapped lately. It's kind of bad.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, it is bad.
And one of them got murdered not long ago, unfortunately. Not to joke about it, but anyway, so teaching her to drive this crazy powerful car that she's never driven a turbo car ever. Like she drives around in a nice like A400, like Mercedes A400, like nice vehicle, decently fast, but not like stupid old Subaru
Not like
fast.
put her sideways and keep it there all day.
Yeah. So teaching her to drive that, but then also getting her to do a 1-minute car review in the style of all these shows. And because she went to college for writing and stuff like that, he said, yeah, you should be able to pull this off, no problem.
It's not that. If you know enough about the particular vehicle, you can run your head until cows come home.
Yeah. But the thing is, she knows nothing about cars. So he had to train her on all the info in the behind the scenes stuff, because they do that on Drive Tribe Extras, I think is what they call it, or something like that. They showed that like while they were tooting around and she was getting used to driving the car, he was giving her facts and stuff like that to throw in, and she was coming up with stuff to throw in there. But like the funny part is the outtakes where she's just constantly cussing about how hard it is to drive and how much she hates it, and like
Spinning out nonstop.
And to be fair,
To be fair.
it's a little sensitive.
To be fair.
That's the shortest one. She's also not difficult to look at.
I don't think I've seen her.
Oh, well, she's rather attractive.
I will tonight, trust me.
Yeah. So yeah, just go check out Drive Tribe on YouTube. But with this latest and almost ended version or a video from the Grand Tour. They went across Mauritania, which is not
in Narnia.
Not Narnia.
No.
To Hammond's dismay, it was not in Narnia.
Right.
I like it, and you know what's funny? They've interviewed them about like some of the stuff they get up to. Yes, some things are obviously rigged, but a lot of it is literally as you see it. It is as stupid, and the mistakes are happening. Like I think what happened with Clarkson coming down that hill and doing all that legitimately happened.
Really?
I
He
think
said, let's
so.
do something stupid? Yeah.
I think they all legitimately thought that was
Their only way down.
their only way down. But of course, but even if it didn't, I don't know that they would purposely risk their most expensive
Right.
person.
You know, blasting through the barricade at the end of that tunnel into the minefield. That had to have been staged.
Clearly that minefield didn't do much.
Did mine.
Yeah. Good Lord, she shook the apartment with that tail. She's like, but we need to go do things, Dad. I've been laying down already. Yep. So he's actually watching fostering this horse.
I received a frantic call a couple nights ago saying if we didn't pick her up
Big
by
sneeze.
today, she'd get put down.
Yeah, and she's too good, puppy.
So I went and picked her up yesterday, and she went to work. And
Yeah,
she'll be hanging out with me till we find her home.
yeah,
It's what, the second dog in 2 weeks I've rehomed.
yeah. She's looking a little antsy.
Hell,
Oh, there we go.
not anymore. She found the couch.
Oh, let me get that phone out of there so she doesn't knock it up. I think it's something creaking.
Oh,
Or not, whatever.
whatever. Let's get back to it. She'll settle down.
Yeah. She's like, I just took a nap. I'm good, Dad.
She said, I heard laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, if we got to pause and run her a little bit.
Oh, all good.
Yeah. I'm sure she'll not get along with all the other dogs here. So either way,
Mauritania.
yeah, Mauritania. So they never did go to the Eye of the Sahara,
Yeah, they did.
did they? I thought they went right past it.
They panned out.
Oh, I didn't. I
Panned
was
out
looking
and
down.
kept going up until
Okay.
you see an eye
Yeah.
with them tiny little dot in the middle of it.
Yeah. So okay, I actually missed that then.
Okay.
I looked away because I was doing something. I was doing stuff at that point. So I missed that because I thought it was crazy.
Oh, it was huge.
Oh, I know, because I Googled it. I'm like, because when Clarkson said something about it, I'm like, I already know about this thing.
Yeah.
It is
It's like
rumored.
1,000 acres. It's
Yeah,
huge.
because it's rumored to truly be Atlantis, because it's a set of concentric circles in the middle of nowhere that have little gaps between them,
Yep.
as though something was meant to pass through, potentially ships, because Atlantis was a waterborne city.
Yeah.
Country, however you want to say. So, either way, it was pretty cool. So I did look that up on just on Google Maps, and
Easy enough to find.
It was easy enough to find, yeah. But actually, I watched the thing on Timcast a few weeks ago, where they had some climate change guys coming in, and how, like, realistically, what they were looking at was not the effects of climate change as is reported widely and panicked about, but the poles shifting and stuff like that. So the magnetic poles switching and shifting and destabilizing, and how the Earth has a history of this
Exactly.
every 12,000 years.
It's just another cycle. It's a cycle we haven't been recording long enough to see the patterns.
Yeah. Well, we kind of have, because in theory, the Bible
Yeah.
recorded some of this. The Great Flood, along with, dozens of other places in history that all record a Great Flood about 20,000 years
Right.
ago. So, and if you get it around about a certain amount of time, the only reason why the whole Earth would suddenly flood, other than a new moon suddenly approaching, would be the poles shifting,
Complete shift off the axis.
complete shift in the Earth flips 90 degrees off axis. And now all your water and everything moves because the moon stayed where it was. Mm-hmm. So all the tides get pulled around.
Yeah.
So now you get 1,000-foot high, mile high tidal floods. And you get freezing temperatures where you had tropical temperatures. And that explains an enormous amount of things in our own natural history.
Right.
But also would totally explain why the Eye of the Sahara is centered around a whole bunch of landmass that has striations that can only be formed by water.
Well, those are the striations as they cut down.
Yeah.
Those are tidal striations.
That's what I'm saying.
And as the sea level drops, it creates cuts into that cliff face.
Exactly.
It's also funny that the people that are crying the climate change and all that are people that may or may not have read a Bible.
May or may not have. I'm just thinking, maybe go ahead and straighten that out and point it at yourself a little bit better. It's okay if the thing's not on camera, but if it's just closer to you, just so you're...
Okay.
There you go. That's significantly better. Just
All right.
that 1 inch made a difference. 1 inch can make a difference, ladies. That they know. Either way.
That's your story, and you're going to stick with it, huh?
Damn Skippy. So, it was just funny that they were driving through that. Mm-hmm. And then they get all the way to, spoilers, they get all the way to the beach. And then there's this whole thing, climate change, riots, all this other stuff going on.
Right.
So they ended up having
That was after they had to cross the river, right?
Yeah, that's when they finally got...
That was a mess.
Dude, how many more vans do they need to sink? They may have sunk more vans than anyone else.
They've put a number of vehicles underwater.
Yeah. I mean, also, what was the...
Well, they sunk Hover Van first.
Yeah, not first. Richard Hammond's van sunk first. Way back when, on Top Gear, when they all had to build aquatic vehicles.
Yes.
And he made the damper
camper van.
It was called the damper van. Damper van 1.0, because he made a second one.
Yes.
Which was basically a van parked on a boat.
Those aquatic episodes are some of my favorites.
I know.
Even the Top Gear America.
Yeah.
With Faust and...
See, I never watched any of it.
Those are fantastic. Those three had it was Tanner Faust, Rutledge Woods, and Adam Ferrara. Mm-hmm. And those three had great chemistry together.
Yeah, they're those all... I mean, obviously, Tanner Faust is
and they're still big buddies.
Yeah.
You can listen to Adam Ferrara's podcast. He still talks about it, has him on.
See, I only knew him as a podcast host, and then found out that he was doing Top Gear America, and then I was like, who's this other guy?
Who, Ferrara?
Yeah.
He was a comedian way before that.
Well, I knew that, but I'm saying I knew him for these reasons.
He was on that firefighter show. What was it?
No,
he played the fire chief or something.
I don't remember. I literally don't know.
Yeah.
It's like probably a thing that I did watch, but completely was oblivious
New York
to.
thing, funny talking guy.
Yeah, of course. His name's Ferrara. It makes sense. But Rutledge Wood, I didn't know anything about until way later.
Right.
And then found out how big a car guy he was, saw his custom van and some of the other stuff. He was featured in Hot Rod Magazine.
Heavily involved in NASCAR.
Yeah, that. So he's a cool dude. Obviously, Tanner Faust, drift driver and rally driver. Both.
Massive rally driver.
All of the above. But the funny thing is, he has the name of a skateboarder. Realistically, that is definitely a skateboarder.
Right.
Name. But I guess that is basically the skateboarding of car
when you're
driving.
older and hurt.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that is the skateboarding of driving.
Right.
Really. So, I mean, no, I never watched one episode of Top Gear America. Not one.
You'd enjoy it. It's good.
I mean, I might, but no, you know what I did watch was the first season and part of the second season of Top Gear Australia.
How was that?
Weird, but so much like the first season of new Top Gear, they had a guy who was there as a host but didn't do anything with the cars. So they had two car guys specifically, and of course they're Australian people, so who the fuck knows who they are. But one dude was basically there to be like the comedy relief,
Yeah.
but not do much else.
It wasn't the guys from Mighty Car Mods, was it?
Oh hell no!
That would have been fantastic.
But now Moog is on Top Gear Australia.
No.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm not joking. Moog was approached last year to go work for Top Gear Australia, and so he did whatever that season is, and he's been spotted in public on some of the things.
Nice.
Because they basically shoot 6 months out. Mm-hmm. So on Mighty Car Mods. So with Top Gear, they basically started that in the winter at some point last year.
I've been watching Mighty Car Mods forever.
Yeah, I've been watching them for I didn't realize how long I'd been watching them. Because I went back and I saw some of these episodes, some of these builds, and I'm like, 4 years ago. I'm like, I could have sworn that was 6 months ago. I was like,
They just finished the Subaru.
which one?
Right.
I was like, no, they just finished the Nissan 240. Also, which one? But
Yeah, I'm a little behind.
oh no, I'm just saying this. They've done so many things now. Right now, they're on the VW up that they just can't get up.
Right.
That's the joke. So, but actually, yeah. When you get a chance, I got one of their posters in there. I've got the Super Gramps. I miss Super Gramps.
That's a good
I know it went to a good home, and Hyper Gramps keeps breaking, so we're kind of screwed there. But basically, you know, all of these things led to modern car presentation shows like Mighty Car Mods, and then for Roadkill was one of my favorite shows.
I still watch it. My son and I. That's one of our favorite shows.
Yeah, and well, I haven't. I know they started redoing episodes back on YouTube again. Some.
I've got the Motor Trend app, and
Okay.
I get them all brand new.
Okay, so I didn't pay for Motor Trend, and I didn't feel like going through their hoops to watch for free. So I only saw a couple of episodes right after they went behind the paywall,
Okay.
and I wasn't super impressed. But I still followed Finnegan because he still makes his own content on YouTube, and then sold a show to Motor Trend, which was Faster with Finnegan,
with Finnegan's
and then
really
it
good.
was immediately changed to Faster with Cotton and Dave.
Yeah.
Because those were his two buddies, and he actually said, he's like, yeah, basically it's like, look, I'm still going to work for Motor Trend, but I couldn't do another show. I was already stretched thin. I'm still doing Roadkill. I'm still doing all my content here, and I'm still doing all this other stuff that I have to do for Motor Trend, period, and Hot Rod Magazine. And it's like, I do not have time to really go do another show. But unfortunately, what he did was lose his buddies from his show to go
Right.
do the show he's ever supposed to do.
Now he doesn't have anyone to pull in to do the work for him.
Yeah, in the same way.
Because
yeah.
Cotton was a monster. He could
Yeah.
fix just about anything anywhere.
Exactly. But I mean, I can only watch them drive a ramp truck across the U.S. so many times,
And have it break down
and have
over
it
and
continually
over.
break down. But it's just the idea that car culture went from that stuffy, straight up car reviews from Motor Week or early Motor Trend to
Hey, cars should be fun.
yeah. Well, just not only that, but it was just like just two dudes working on something in the driveway, and then of course eventually getting massive corporate funding.
Yeah.
But
Or two dudes going to a junkyard, pulling out something stupid,
Yeah.
and road tripping at 1,400 miles.
yeah, which was all Roadkill was ever
That
supposed to be.
sounds like a fun weekend.
Well, and it comes down to that too. Is like, so when Mighty Car Mods and Roadkill did their first crossover, and I say first because they've already said they're working on a second. Now the COVID's gone and people can go around the world again. So it'll be after Moog gets back from doing Top Gear, and they probably film another season of Mighty Car Mods.
Dude, when they swapped cars, that was funny as hell.
Yeah.
That was a blast.
Yeah, but they said that like they didn't believe that stuff really happened for real.
Really?
Like, everybody thinks of breakdowns and stuff like that, much like Top Gear. When Top Gear or Grand Tour, when things go wrong, they think it's all just played up for the camera. It's like, no, this is literally what's happening.
You could have followed me around in high school with my 80 model Camaro.
Yeah.
And watched me work on it every friggin' week just to get to work or get to school.
Yeah, but it also, wasn't. Well, I don't want to say it wasn't, but I'm saying like, was that nearly as bad as some of the junk Roadkill has slapped together?
Yeah, they've slapped together some janky stuff.
But I'm saying, was it your Camaro as bad as a Roadkill car?
No, it got better.
No, it got better. But that's one thing that, and I think it had to have started back with Top Gear when they started doing the cheap car challenges. Like, buy an old Porsche for no more than 1,500 pounds and do what you got to do, and you got to make it through this trip.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got shows like Roadkill doing this basically the same thing on a smaller budget,
Right.
Without being funded the unique way.
Minimal crew behind them.
It well until now.
Yeah.
But originally it was like them and a couple of cameras and like two camera dudes. And then same thing with Mighty Car Mods. It was like originally it was just them
Two guys in a
and,
garage
and one
goofing
guy with
off.
a camera holding the thing. And now it's like literally as big a production as any major show on a network, but it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then you got the guys like Hoonigan. You got the guys from like Donut Media, all these Taverish, all these guys.
Donut Media's branched out so far.
Yeah, they got like they need to
They need to rein it in
They
a
need to
little.
rein it in, or they're going to collapse. Because this is the problem. And I saw not long ago was a discussion of future YouTube stuff. The problem is that people are going back to work and getting back to real life again. So the content boom is going to become a content implosion because, and especially for like things like this podcast and other slower media where you don't have to keep up daily. It's like Donut's dropping 2 to 3 videos a day.
Yeah, they have to push content to keep their funding where it has to be.
Yeah, because they've got tons of other things. I mean, they broke off now they have the mechanics, basically the Mechanics React channel.
And it's so boring sometimes.
Sometimes, but a lot of times, I mean, there's a couple of them that are very funny to watch.
Yeah. Or the reviews and all that of the stupid, like the Wish tools. And
so, and speaking of them, Donut and Mighty Car Mods did a mild crossover when they came to Australia.
Really?
Yeah. So there was a video kind of on both channels. It was real mild, or the full-on thing hasn't really dropped realistically, because once again, they're months out. So sometimes that's the funniest part is if you follow them on social media, sometimes you'll see things that they're currently doing, and you're like,
hadn't they done this already?
No, it was the other way around. It's like, that's nothing close to what you said you're currently doing, you know? So like when Moog and Marty were both in America at the same time for 2 different reasons. Mm-hmm. Marty came to film some stuff, but was basically on vacation and stopped by Roadkill and a few other people that they knew in America. But Moog was here filming with Top Gear in Texas.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know what he was doing, but he was also spotted in Italy with a hypercar. So who knows?
Now I definitely have to hunt down Aussie Top Gear.
Yeah. So in the future, we'll have to see where that's going to pop up. Yeah, I have no idea where that technically is, because I downloaded it, torrent-wise back in the day. I have no idea where they're streaming it or anything else like that. Hell, it could be on Australian Netflix for all we know. Get yourself a VPN.
Yep, get a VPN.
Hey, ExpressVPN, if you want to sponsor the show, I use ExpressVPN, so it is what it is. But overall, like, those shows all shaped my knowledge and experience with cars.
Yeah.
Like, even from back then. That's why, if you go in the Shoky bathroom, as it were, the one wall is like a bunch of cars, and then it's nerd stuff everywhere else.
Yeah.
But like,
and you'd think with that kind of influencing, we'd have better cars than we do now.
Well, the problem is, I mean, I have do you mean our personal cars?
Our personal cars.
Okay, I thought you meant like in a broader sense. But no, I mean, my car is exactly those things. It's a junker that's barely held together currently, but it's fast.
See, my Suburban is the same way, but it's not fast.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
05 rattle trap lifted 33s.
But it's a beast.
It every single day it starts. Every single day it gets me home, whether it's limping or not.
Yeah. So I mean, with the SRT, like, it needs a lot of work, but I got to pick which $1,500 project I want to do.
That's where we're stuck out in the barn right now. We've got 3 antiques, one of which is getting a motor swap right now. I've got 4 motorcycles in the garage, and wood projects I do. So it's always prioritizing what I want to do. Right now, all I want to do is pull out my lathe and mess with my lathe.
Yeah.
I had to put it up and get it out of sight so I would stop playing on the lathe and actually work on a motorcycle.
Yeah. And I still need to come over and use your bandsaw for my not wood project.
Come on, we'll make it happy.
I know. I just got to figure it out. It's like all of my other projects went to the back burner.
Get over there. I'll feed you.
I believe you. I believe you. It's just, got to figure out when and how. And it's not a big deal. But like that's going to be a big... Actually, I'll show it to you before you leave because you're here, might as well. So that's actually another custom prop project, as I was telling you. And I'll show you when we're done. I'll take you in there. You'll see the other
full
thing.
shop. You're welcome.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, the only thing I need at that point is just the bandsaw to make clean, straight cuts across a cylindrical object, which is not easy to do under most circumstances, especially when it's made of plastic.
I've only got that much clearance.
I mean, it's only 4 inches.
Okay,
so.
you're good.
I mean,
that's what she said.
It just keeps coming. It's like it just keeps happening. Either way. So let me ask you then, since I've talked for a while, your favorite stuff between Top Gear and Grand Tour?
Their big adventures are always my favorites, or the races where they line up the car, the bicycle, the public transport, whatever they're doing.
Oh yeah,
those races always just entertain the hell out of me because always May and Hammond griping, complaining, and just arguing nonstop while Clarkson bombs and whatever he's got. And the Stig just acting weird, sitting on a bus by himself.
Yep. Well, I think one of the better ones I saw, and it might have been one of the last ones they did, was the Shelby Cobra across Germany, I think,
Yes.
or was it Sweden?
That was a really good one.
That was a good one, but that was one where it got so close that they
That was, yeah.
Or the GTR
I'm
as
getting
well.
it confused when they were in Russia. And Clarkson had the hovercraft.
I don't remember that one.
Hammond was on the $10,000 carbon fiber bicycle.
Oh.
And
no, that was London.
No,
Yeah, he did. He cycled through London.
that was Russia.
No, it was London.
They did that too.
Okay. Because it was.
They were in St. Petersburg.
No, you're getting the boat, bike, bus.
They also did a hovercraft.
Okay, so there was the one where James was in.
Boat, bike, bus was London.
Yes. Well, wasn't okay. So Stig was on a bus. James was in a big SUV. Hammond was on a bike, and Jeremy was in the Thames and on like a Scarab.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was that one.
No, St. Petersburg, Clarkson come out in that big hovercraft. They put Hammond on a bike. They put May in a little G-Whiz electric car.
I don't know.
And put the Stig on public transit.
I might not have seen that.
It was a good one.
I don't remember.
I
don't remember James being in a G-Whiz.
Yep. The little
Weird.
open air thing with
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember it.
But
Weird.
Hammond's on this bicycle you can pick up with two fingers and throw over your head.
This must have been after
He hits the tram line on
Yeah.
the road,
Yeah.
drops the tires into the railroad tracks.
Okay, so hold on.
And
I
then
remember
crashes
that.
out so hard.
So I remember that.
Breaks the derailleur on the bicycle. Has to borrow some random dude's heavy-ass mountain bike.
Okay, so I did see that. It's just been a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, so I did remember
That was the last season, episode 1, last season with Clarkson, Hammond,
So
and
that
May.
was in 20 episode or season 23. Yeah. So yeah, that makes sense. That'd be why that was that truncated season.
Oh, that season was heartbreaking too. The final episode,
because the final episode was just the two of them.
they
going
even
over the
acknowledged
footage
what's
that they
left
could.
of Top Gear.
Yeah, there's no audience in the studio.
It wasn't until season 3 of the Grand Tour that Clarkson finally got to say goodbye to the audience.
Yeah,
Where they announced that they were doing away with the tent, going just to big specials, and he finally, tears, his daughter in the audience crying, finally got to say, "Thank you for everything. We love you. Goodbye."
Yeah, and the Grand Tour audience wasn't quite the same as Top Gear, but because they filmed it all over the place. That's why.
Exactly.
Which I don't even know if that was 100%.
Well, the first season, they filmed all over the place.
Yeah, after that it was a set studio.
Yeah.
Which I did like this in studio stuff, but it never compared to the Top Gear in studio stuff.
Right. They had more room. The crowds were a bit better behaved, or not as scripted and edited.
Yeah. But also, they kept the car focused, not just doing dumb shit.
Yeah, conversation.
And killing celebrities every week.
Yeah. The dirt track gravel.
Their test track, yeah.
That was neat. Watching the celebrities race dirt and street at the same time. That was fun.
Are you talking about on the Grand Tour? Or are you talking about Top Gear?
Grand Tour.
Okay.
Remember their track had a dirt and...
I don't remember. No, they added dirt to the old Top Gear test track.
Well, either way, they still had celebrities.
So I saw a little bit of the first season when it came back once they were gone.
Mm-hmm.
And it broke my heart when they added weird off-road sections to the track.
That's because the Grand Tour did it as well.
So I don't remember the first Grand
when
Tour
they had
test
like
track
Penn and Teller and that other musician racing against each other.
They changed it later, and it didn't have the dirt anymore. It was just on the ground. That's
second
right.
season, they got rid of the Celebrity Brain Crash. They got rid of the American.
Yeah, I forgot about the American.
And they added the test track where they could...
That's what it was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they upgraded. So they were keeping it very much in the vein of Top Gear, then branched off to
Stick with
their
what
own
you know,
shit.
right?
Yeah. But, like, when they actually modified the original Top Gear test track at the airport, it broke my heart.
That was a good track.
It was so good. So, we talked about Halo earlier off camera.
Yes.
So Halo 3 and ODST, they added a whole lot of customization aspects to it. And they also gave you the ability to build custom levels, right?
I remember.
Yeah. So in one of the levels, it was like a pyramid, like Sandy level, but it was dual level. You could go up to the sky. Mm-hmm. So we built the Top Gear test track out of bits and pieces, and we raced all the vehicles.
That's great.
For times. And we had recorded times. So like the 6 or 7 friends of mine who were...
So what was the best? Warthog or what?
Ghost was the fastest, yeah. Obviously, you're not going to really use the Banshee because it flies. But the tank was hilarious because, you just had to do what you had to do.
Just slow and steady.
Slow and steady. But like the hard part was they didn't have enough flat walls. So we actually had to add some bricks and some elevation. Mm-hmm. The shape of the track was right. It was the figure 8.
Yeah.
And I made the tight Gambon corner and the big swooping penultimate corner.
Yeah.
But like it came down, and the hard part was there was no good way to actually time it. So what we did was we would drive off and commit suicide at the finish line. Because that's the only way to stop the clock.
Right.
But what we would do is we would wait 10 seconds at the beginning and then go. Because the timer wouldn't start initially.
Really? So you'd go as soon as the timer started?
Yeah. So we had to wait 10 seconds, and then we just subtracted it from the final time after we exploded. And we had it all written down. I don't know if I doubt I have that notebook anymore. If I do, it's in my tub of nerdiness.
How bored were you?
Dude, we got bored playing custom Halo games.
Yeah.
Like you can only
jump around with a rocket launcher and sniper rifle for so long.
Yeah, but I mean, like we played dodgeball, we played a bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. So dodgeball was a lot of fun. Set up barrier walls and you're just hucking grenades at the other people, and it was stickies only.
Nice.
So you had to stick them because dodgeball.
Yeah.
But of course we had spike grenades too, so that was always fun. But and then we'd play hack and splat and stuff like that. But either way, back to the Top Gear situation. The fun part was like seeing how you could keep those vehicles, especially the hover vehicles, on the fucking track.
Right.
And then whether it was the elevation, because it was like an up block down, trying not to go so fast you go flying and then die.
Miss the track and go off.
Miss the track entirely, yeah. So that was a lot of fun. That was, I think I had like 6 or 7 people. Like anybody came over, they had to do their...
had to try it.
They had to try it. I mean, everybody got to use the Warthog, but the idea was like get good enough to use the Ghost because you had to use your boost in the right spot.
Yep.
And the follow through...
It was essentially a Scandi flick through some of the turns.
Yes, it was. Because you would have to... Because the Ghost would drift.
Yeah.
So, and then you would boost.
You had to kick it one way to set it up for the next.
Yeah, well, you kick it so that you're pointed the right direction, and you hit boost to shoot that direction. So it was a lot of that. I think the fastest time we ever set was like... It was all sub-minute. I think like 47 seconds on a Ghost.
Yeah.
And that was mine. Nobody could beat me. But like on a Warthog, we were all really close. And I would update everybody's times.
Well, that was kind of the level the playing field because you really didn't have much of an option just to bomb through the track.
Well, you could drift.
Yeah.
Because what we were doing before that was, what do they call it? Warthog Demolition Derby.
Yeah.
And I borrowed a few tracks that people had made. And then I made a few once I figured it out. Because basically it was try to knock, most of the time it was knock the other person off the ledge. Because you would put indestructible vehicle. And,
so you turned Halo into Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Good time. Good time.
So the idea was, and I have videos of this, by the way, because that's when they first started allowing you to go back in and record. So it was at one level where it was a real short, just back and forth, like on a bridgeway. It was just back and forth, and there was like one little internal area you'd go and get the rocket launcher or something, right? And, basically you just hop in the Warthog, but there were only 2 Warthogs. There were 3 of us playing, so somebody would have to jump in at some point. And my buddy Bill went to go get the rocket launcher, we didn't know because we're trying to knock each other off, right? So the point is, in the middle, there's the explosive barrels. They're supposed to send you flying, right? And so you're supposed to hit the barrels or hit each other and try to make them fall off the edge. Therefore, you win. Yes? So...
But at the same time, it's a straight around a cone and back, so you're crossing other traffic.
Basically. Well, there's no other traffic. You're just basically going at each other. So, but the idea, or what happened was in this video, I forget if it was me or Shane. It was me, Shane, and Bill. And I made sure I got this from the perfect angle. So there was a teleporter that would take you to the inside where you get the rocket or whatever, and then you teleport back out. But the teleporter or the exit one was way up high. So Shane or I was coming this way, hit the barrel, and Bill's just like running in. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. And then dead. And he's like, the fuck happened? Because he popped through the portal.
No.
So he popped through the portal the exact moment the Warthog was going through the air and got it in mid-air vehicle kill. Splatter.
Good grief.
Splattered someone in midair.
Got him right at the event horizon.
And it's not like we knew he was going to be there.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious. I have it on video. I have it on my Facebook from years ago. And because he couldn't figure out how he died. We had to go back and watch the footage because we didn't see it either. It's like, what the hell? But one of the best parts, it was on that level. It wasn't that game. It was another one. And we were just, like, Shane thought he got me. And I had actually gone off the cliff. But my front wheels were still hung. So he's doing donuts, and then after the other person was dead, the only way to end it was to commit suicide. So he drives off the edge, doesn't realize I'm still hanging there, and I drive right back up. Oop, I'm just going to knock this fucking thing over. So it's like he commits suicide thinking I'm dead, and I just went right back up. And he's like, what the... He didn't cuss, but another time it was a very snowy level. And it was like base here, base there, and you could have like tanks and snipers. You go through like a snow bridge. And we set it up just on this one corner. So it was the only one that had the cliff. And it was another situation where, oh, that's what happened. Sorry, I had it wrong. The reason he thought I went off that cliff is because I hit a barrel and went flying, and he thought I went off. I landed right on the corner of the cliff and hung on. It literally just
nice
stuck, and then he drove off and didn't realize I went back up. Sorry, I just remembered because I remember the somersaulting vehicle and then landing and then driving right back up. So in the snow level, mind you, getting all these ideas from Top Gear and these other shows, and then this funny automotive culture influencing a shooter game,
right?
Of all things, right? And then it's a similar situation where I almost get knocked off. What we're doing is we're drifting along the edge, just messing around, because if you drop a wheel off, you're gone.
Yeah.
So we're just pulling up on it, full speed, drifting along that snowy edge. And my wheels fall off. And I end up like this. Like high-centered, 2 wheels on, 2 wheels off.
Just stationary. Just
no,
stuck.
I'm moving.
Oh.
I've got enough traction. I'm like...
Oh, 50-50 grind down.
50-50 grind, yeah, literally. And he tries to hit me. Just barely misses, tries to catch himself, and trying to back up, and the back wheels don't catch, and he goes off. And then I just keep driving, and there's a little whoop on the cliff, and I just go whoop and drive right back up. I was like, what the hell?
Never do it again if you
never
had
do
to.
it again.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it if I tried, because we did try after that. But it was just funny, like, and you know, I know I'm just transitioning into video games here, but like,
as you do,
between going to college for automotive stuff, influenced by Clarkson at first and then Top Gear, and I'd been reading Hot Rod magazine all these years, you know, customizing stuff. Got into Import Tuner because, of course, you know, Fast and Furious came out right before I went to college. So at the same time, like, all these really badass racing games come out. Need for Speed Underground.
That was a great one. One of my apps. I had a great soundtrack,
Yeah.
a great customizable setup.
Yeah, and then, but before that, I played Gran Turismo 2. That was like my big
I could
thing.
never get into the Turismo's Forza.
Forza, I only played one of the Forzas, and I loved it because of the selection of cars.
Yeah.
Because it had a lot of stuff other people didn't. But when it came to Gran Turismo 2 specifically, I had three vehicles that I just absolutely kicked ass with. One was a Pikes Peak Evo, which had like 1,400 horsepower, all-wheel drive, ridiculous giant body kit. And that thing could go like 220 miles an hour. It was stupid. And then I had a 69 Camaro that I had just tuned all to hell. And it was fast as fuck. And then the other car I had was a turbo original RX-7. And I tuned that thing all to hell. And that thing was so much fun on a crappy old graphics and what basically sounded like the Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtrack.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, Need for Speed changed everything, though, because it got into the modern car culture.
See, I could never hit the modern car culture. My niche is weird, old, comfortable, big.
Yeah.
So Lincoln's...
Like yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
39.
We've got... Shut up.
Well, no, I'm older than you. That's why it's fucked. I just turned 41.
Yeah. But, at the farm, we've got a 51 Mercury.
Nice.
With a flathead V8. The V8's out right now. It's getting a LS3 with a 4L60E transmission behind it. New suspension, bucket seats. We're doing disc brakes all the way around, power steering, rack and pinion steering.
Yeah.
I mean, getting it right.
Yeah.
We also got a 54 Ford Crestline, which is the first year of the Y block.
Yeah.
After they got away from the flathead, that's the Sunliner edition. They're convertible.
Nice.
Then 2.5 years ago, we picked up a 57 Ford Fairlane retractable hardtop with the Thunderbird 500.
Nice.
The badass engine.
Yeah.
We're tickled with those. We like them.
The huge.
The old man.
hardtop.
Every time we go to a show, he runs that hardtop probably 10 times back and forth.
Yeah, because people have never seen that shit.
Well, and guess who has to fix it every time it breaks?
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot. I could probably make
those were hydraulic, weren't they?
No, screw.
Oh, it was. Some of them were hydraulic, not those, but there was
they had
somebody's
hardtop. They had a screw actuators.
Yeah.
And then screws on points in the body and in the cab.
Yeah.
Where the top goes down and locks down on top, and the screws turn and suck it down and lock it down.
Wow.
And that's what made it rigid.
Yeah. Because it would be super floppy with a 200-pound fucking.
But same thing when it rolls into the back.
Yeah.
Everything locks down, screws
right
down tight, so it's still rigid.
And
you
the
didn't have
trunk
to
lid
add.
still works. Yeah.
No, there's enough room for the spare tire
joking.
and the.
I said the lid works though.
There's a hole in the middle.
Yeah.
We have just enough room for a spare tire.
Yeah.
Because we also have the Continental kit on it.
Yeah.
And car cover.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. Yep. But yeah, no, it's what's so funny is everybody thinks like Mercedes invented a retractable hardtop. Like in the modern cars that had that shit. I'm like,
this 57 had the retractable hardtop.
Point at the 50s cars that had that shit.
It's got a power bench seat.
Yeah.
Up, down, forward, back.
Wow.
Yeah, it's badass. The contacts, I had to pull it apart, clean the contacts, put it back together.
Wow.
And it is such a basic,
circuit.
You push the button and these huge contact pads make contact and move the motor back and forth.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah,
so it's literally a controller.
Pretty much.
Yeah. By the way, what time do you have to wrap up?
Midnight. What time I go to work?
Okay.
You're the one with the time constraint.
I do. I'm just making sure. Yeah, because you don't have to run up and get the dog, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, because I was just thinking about it because like it's 3 something. I can't quite read 3:18.
Yeah.
So no big deal. I'm just checking.
Squirrel.
Well, because I'm used to people who have time constraints. I mean, like I have them today.
Mondays work good for me, even though it's what I call my zombie night.
Yeah.
Saturday's my night off, so I'm up all night. I'm up early in the morning, usually 5 or 6, and up all day long and all night. By the time I hit the house Monday morning, I'm a zombie.
Yeah.
I'm not terribly pleasant.
I can imagine. Dude, I couldn't even I've never done overnights. I've just done late nights before.
I'm thriving on them.
Yeah. I mean, some people pull
really
it off.
I started doing nights a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I was almost 400 pounds.
Yeah.
I started doing intermittent fasting. I started working out, walking my ass off at work.
Yeah.
Working out after I get up at the farm, ruck marching, throwing around a mace bell. Now rowing machine.
Yeah.
And between the fasting and the working out, I'm down to 300 now and continuing to drop.
Yeah. I got to get back into it. Like I've now that the weather's finally nicer.
Yeah. If you end up heavier than me, you're going to get made fun of.
I am heavier than you.
No.
Yeah, I'm 313.
Yes.
Like
Fatty.
Yeah, I am fat, but you're taller, so it looks worse.
No, it looks better.
No, it doesn't. No, you still have the same problem I have. It's just all belly.
What, the Dicky Doo disease?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I do want to get back to exercising and stuff like that because, like, and Jessica's actually down now. So Ozempic is finally working.
Well, I've been bugging you about IF for a while.
I do it.
You do?
Yeah.
Do it better.
Well, I will. It's like lately, maybe I don't know if it's sympathy eating or something like that because like
You will go through phases where you just suck at staying on your fast.
Well, I mean, I used to fast every day. Like literally, I would eat dinner at 6:30 and then not eat again till noon, like every day.
What gets you is the beverages.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. But it was just now, like sometimes I'll switch it up because right now our schedule is so crazy, especially the front half of the week. So, like tonight, I've got men's group. Tomorrow, she's got ladies group. Wednesday, I've got Patreon. Thursday, I've got trivia night. Friday, I've got live stream. Tuesday night I've got live stream. So the crazy part is we're having a hard time eating meals together.
Yeah.
But if I skip dinner, I got to eat something in the morning. So I've been eating breakfast a lot more because I kind of our evenings are so wonky now that we're almost not bothering with dinner. If she has lunch at work, she's not going to be hungry because the Ozempic really doesn't allow her to eat much anymore. Like I made her a very small amount of scrambled eggs this morning, and she was ready to throw up.
Right.
So
I'm not that bad, but if I eat in the mornings, my system's just thrown out of whack and I'm not feeling great.
Yeah. Well, do you mean real morning or your morning?
Post nap.
Okay. Yeah. So actually, the funny thing was I was going to offer you some breakfast when you got here. I was like, I've already got everything out to make breakfast.
And I had a burrito on the way over here, man.
Nice.
I was hungry.
I made myself an omelet this morning, a 3-egg omelet.
Two fromage?
Yeah. Two fromage, yes, of course. She doesn't like I've learned to do a little bit more of a soft scramble or a soft cook on the omelets and stuff.
Yeah.
Leave some runniness in there.
Just a little bit. She
doesn't like it at all. So I have to like hard cook her eggs now. But like I had just a little too much milk in the eggs and it started sweating. The eggs are done, but then the milk starts coming out. So she was like, "Well, it's too buttery." I was like, "That's not butter. That's just the milk coming out." Sorry.
Sorry, I had to milk my eggs.
Yeah, I had to milk. I realized when I poured the milk, I was like, "Fuck!" I was like, because I only made her 2 eggs, not 3.
Well, I could have gone another egg.
Yeah, because she would have been overly full. With 2 eggs, she was already overly full. So what I was getting at was like basically like get back into fasting because essentially we're not doing dinner together.
It makes sense with your schedule.
Yeah, but like for me, it was easier to eat dinner or skip breakfast, like because I can just go till noon. But now with our evenings apart, I don't. It's like I'm either going to skip dinner or I'm going to eat dinner.
Right.
But I never know when I'm going to do whichever. So now I'm thinking I'm going to start doing breakfast when I get up at 5.
Then that'll be breaking your fast.
Well, yeah,
you've got an 8-hour eating window.
Well, because I was gonna. Well, let me say what I've been doing. Breakfast at 5. Eat around 2 or 3.
Well, if you make it 1 o'clock, you're within your 8 hours.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is I'm doing larger gaps for just 2 meals.
True.
So from 5 to 2 or 3, because she usually doesn't eat lunch until about 3, anyways. So if we eat the same 2 meals and we both skip dinner, we'll probably be better off. We're gonna start making a hell of a lot less dinner, so that part sucks. Because I like cooking.
Well, and I have a problem cooking for just one person. I can only cook to feed an army.
That is a problem.
Yeah.
I can cook for just one person because it's easy. It's me.
I do mostly Creole Cajun dishes.
Yeah.
And first step is 17-quart roaster. Pull that bad boy out. And
a little difficult to do here. But like for me, like I got no problem cooking for myself, because I'll just do whatever. But at bare minimum, I'll make a sandwich. Who cares, right? She ate all the fucking bread this weekend.
Oh.
But like I like the internet has been such a trove of good ideas in the last few months. Like I'm learning how to properly cook steaks. Hopefully sometime soon I'm going to get a smoker so I can start smoking my own brisket and stuff out here. So I can just start cooking.
Out here, they have the small skinny Pit Boss cabinet smoker.
Yeah.
Pellet smoker. That's all you need out here.
That's what I was kind of thinking about, but I also want to be able to sear stuff. So I was looking at getting the Pit Boss, I think
Get the Platinum series.
I was looking at all of them
because it's got the grill and the smoker combo.
Yeah, this is what I've been looking at all these things, but basically a better way to cook. But I can't do any. If I have to do any type of searing in here, smoke alarms.
Yeah.
So, but it could also be I'm using too low a temp
Pit Boss,
oil.
they have a big grate you pull off your ignition chamber, and that's your searing point.
Yeah. Well, what I was looking at was one of the Pit Bosses I was looking at. The jet is like right in the center under the middle, so you can just put something directly and it'll crank up to 750.
Oh, trust it. I've been running a stick burner since I was in high school.
Yeah.
And our old smoker finally rotted out.
Yeah.
We got this pellet grill, and it's been a game changer. I'm not so much a brisket snob that I'm going to cook to competition standards. I cook to what we like.
But you can do a brisket on pellet, no problem.
But I push a button, I go to bed.
Yeah.
And it's the best thing ever.
Yeah. And
we do smoked pork chops. I do smoked ribeyes.
Yeah.
We do them backwards for both of them. With the pork chops, you season them, sear them, and then pop a probe in it.
Yeah.
Into the smoker till 145. Pull them.
You use a built-in probe or a different one?
I use different ones.
Okay.
They read better.
Yeah, because I got the Chef IQ wireless probe, and it's really.
I'm about to upgrade to the Bluetooth ones.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
Yeah.
But I won't use it outside.
But with the steaks, you smoke first. You do what they call a reverse sear.
Yeah, if you're going to go
smoke
that route.
first, season and smoke, and then you sear them off and finish them up.
So what I've been watching with Guga Foods on YouTube, way he does steaks. Well, he's doing over charcoal usually, so he'll sear them. He'll flip like every 20 seconds. Just keep flipping it until you got it really nice and golden.
See, I'm a flip once guy.
Oh, see, this is different. So the way he does it, and he's basting it the whole time too. So he's basting it with seasoned butter the whole time he's doing the sear, and then he takes it off heat.
Is he doing it in a pan?
No, he's doing it directly on the charcoal grill.
Cool.
So he's got it to where the grate spins. So it's a circular grill. So he's cooking directly over the charcoal first, get that sear, and then set it off indirect heat until it reaches 135.
Yeah.
And then lets it rest for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever.
That'll bring it up to 140.
And that brings it up to 150.
Yeah.
So perfect medium rare. But he makes it look so damn easy. But what they don't really show you is how high the flames are getting.
Right.
They're literally like 8-foot flames as he's doing this with tongs to flip it.
Right.
And he's a big burly Brazilian guy who used to do jiu-jitsu in Muay Thai until he shattered his leg. He's got wicked scars on his leg. He shattered his leg. Sinus drainage.
Yep.
It sucks. So we're in pre-spring moment here in Texas.
And we're both about to be miserable.
Yeah.
I run off of that nasal spray I've sent you a couple times.
Yeah, I've got the stuff that I already was using, and then some stuff that my mom gave us.
Yeah.
And it was like normal allergy nasal spray, which I've never used. And my sinuses were so destroyed a few weeks ago. I think I had another sinus infection, which coincidentally was the same time I had it several years ago. But I just went, and I'm like, it just cleared it out. I was like,
stuff I use is the only
this
stuff,
is what people are talking
only
about.
stuff I found that works. I grew up in New Mexico.
Oh.
While I was developing all my immunities and all that stuff.
Yeah, so you got no protection here in
Then
Texas.
we went from Hobbs, New Mexico to Missouri.
Wow.
And then down here,
There's
99.
There's nothing in Missouri.
I liked it. I really enjoyed Missouri.
I just meant plants. They don't have plants in Missouri. There's no pollen in Missouri.
Oh, bull.
I'm joking.
Bull.
Dude,
I was miserable as a kid.
It feels like the pollinating that we have here is different to other places. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
It's just...
Because it seems like our pollinating is worse than other people's pollinating.
Our deal's because of our truncated seasons, it happens all at once.
Yeah. Or twice.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens twice.
The fall spring.
Yeah, fall spring brings the first wave of the pollinating. And then the true pollinating happens, whichever everyone's vehicle turns yellow.
I'm up in the Piney Woods up in New Waverly.
Yeah.
And
you got actual trees.
The wind blows just right. You'll see a cloud of yellow come off those things.
Years ago, speaking of going back to cars, I was helping my buddy Chris work on his Camaro. We had to get it from his... Is a I don't even know, 79 Camaro, just throwing out a number.
Same model as mine.
I'm just guessing. I don't remember. and he did a 350 in a 4-speed manual, whatever. But we were moving the Camaro to a storage lot. So he already had 2 cars. He had his Corvette and he had his Cadillac.
Yeah.
So he didn't have space for another vehicle. So he's like, well, I got the Corvette now. I'm going to keep that around to drive as a toy. So we needed to move the Camaro. He didn't trust me to drive the Camaro, and I wouldn't have trusted myself to drive it either. And so I'm following him to the storage lot, which is only a few miles down the road. And it was down off of Kirkendall on the south end of the Woodlands. You know, back in the day, that was all trees, not what it is now.
Yeah.
And it was exactly that. The wind shifted, and it was a green fog.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm going to be hurting later.
yeah. Well, I mean, actually, my sinuses really weren't bad back then.
Yeah,
I was out in it.
It's only happened like 6 years ago.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, I was 20, if that, you know, at that point. Oh, wait, how? Yeah, I was about 20, 21. Yeah, because that's right. He took me, we for my 21st birthday, he and I went drinking. You know, I had like a couple beers and one demotivator. And then he got shit-faced, and I had to take him home.
Happy birthday.
It's like my 21st birthday, he gets shit-faced, and I got to take his ass home. But I got to drive the Cadillac, so I wasn't pissed about that. But either way, so I'm following him in the Corvette with the T-tops off. And all this shit, yeah. and then he had to go back to work, and I was supposed to be installing a stereo in the Cadillac. Turns out the harness is not in the dash on a Cadillac; it's in the trunk. So that particular one, it was whatever model, I can't remember at this point, and it was a 4-door, whatever.
Not the CTS.
No, way before CTS existed. This is early, like 2002.
Oh, DeVille.
It might have been a DeVille.
Yeah.
Either way, it had the North Star V8.
Yep, DeVille.
Either way. And it was black. His Corvette was black. And I was driving my Neon at that point. And I left to go to Best Buy to see if they had anything that would work. They didn't have fuck all.
They never do.
No. Well, for this, they didn't have, because it was a weird fucking thing.
Well, nowadays, Best Buy never has anything you need.
Oh, now, for sure. But back then, it was all, you bought everything radio-wise there. If you weren't doing a full custom install that you had to pay someone to do. But they're like, yeah, that's the harness for a Cadillac. And I'm like, not the one I'm working on. and
that was pre-cell phone where you could snap a picture.
Exactly,
and take it with you.
Exactly. I mean, well, not pre-cell phone, just pre-good cell phone.
True.
Like the cell phone cameras back then were like the grainy bullshit. Like
yeah, I didn't have one back then. I had that Kia Sarah slider, which was about that big.
The Sidekick, basically, or well, the
not even
precursor to Sidekick.
You just flipped it up to get the keyboard.
Yeah. So mine was I don't remember, one of the Sprint phones that didn't have a camera.
It was indestructible.
Yeah, not a Nokia destructible.
I mean, Lord, I got tossed off a horse and fell on it. Bruised my hip, didn't hurt the phone.
Okay, Hammond.
This horse didn't have 5 legs.
No, did not have 5 legs. But what I went to go get that thing. I came back, and the pollinating happened while I was gone. His black car was straight up yellow, and it was in the carport.
Oh.
I was like, what the fuck? And that was literally, of all my years, you know, I grew up here. I had never seen pollen like that. That was just like super spring. Yep. It was crazy. And then it rained shortly thereafter. Mm-hmm. So it was like the perfect spring day, right? And like rivers of yellow. It's just like, holy fuck.
It's that and the fact that I live down a 1.5 mile dirt road. My cars are never clean. My cars are never shiny.
Yeah, see, I can't drive
I
can't drive my car to the farm. My car won't make it down that road, probably.
Yeah, well.
My car?
My van makes it down that road.
That's a van. That's a Neon.
It's an itty-bitty van.
Yeah, that's a Neon with shitty suspension.
That's an itty-bitty van with Star Wars shit on it.
Yeah, but it's still a van. A van is a van, not a Neon. Now, the Kia might make it down there, but not the Neon.
Well, it's got a little 4-banger. You're fine.
I'm worried about the suspension completely just getting destroyed.
You're fine.
Maybe. Yeah, I'll drive the Kia out there. I trust it more. Well, what
are you talking about? I blast down that road doing 55, 60.
In your van?
Yeah.
It's a van.
It's still a piece of crap, tiny little thing.
You're probably doing your Suburban, too.
A lot faster.
Yeah, exactly. Suburban. Not a Neon, which that's the only time I'll call it a Neon. I do not acknowledge that it's a neon. It is an SRT4. It does not say neon anywhere on the car.
Sure, but we know.
Yeah.
We know.
Uh-huh. It's not a neon.
And we're going to remind you.
Eat a dick. I don't care. I'm sorry. That was very not progressive of me. You can eat your preferred genitalia.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to tell you what they thems you can eat.
I want a taco.
You already had a burrito.
Don't get me started.
You're already carved up today. Oh God. Oh, what is it? Damn. What is it? There's that image that floats around the internet, and it says, "My brain when I realize it's not a picture of tacos." I forgot what I'm talking about. That meme that looks like they're two fucking tacos, and you realize they're not.
Kind of like the bucket with the yellow chain in it, and we thought it was macaroni and cheese.
Yes. Giant bucket of macaroni and cheese, and I'm like, yeah, look at those safety chains.
Right?
Yeah, I saw a lot of those when I worked at Walmart when we remembered to use them.
Yeah, safety third.
Looks like Jessica.
She.
That's how she sleeps on the couch. Holy shit.
I was told she was a couch potato.
Jesus. Like she's just face. Oh, actually, no. You can see her in the camera behind
There you
me. Here, I'll pull it up here. Y'all can see her just completely face passed the fuck out on the
She's
couch.
had a rough couple days, man.
I don't blame her. And if I had property, it would be a consideration.
Right.
Now the tiny one you were trying to find a home for, that was more my speed, but then also trying to get her ass up 3 times.
She's turnkey ready to go. That little bulldog had health issues, had skin issues, a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, she was cute.
She needed to be vetted, vaxxed, spayed, all that.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Okay, so just talk dogs for a minute, because you do train, raise, and everything else for dogs in a non-professional fashion.
I'm just one guy helping one dog at a time.
Yeah,
best I can do.
But you're really good at it. But like, so let me ask you this. So we had a puppy a few years ago before we moved. He was a yellow lab. The first week, I almost got him trained to where he was listening to commands, sitting, staying, all this other stuff. Second week, he completely flipped. Like 100% just ignored everything, stopped going to the bathroom outside, everything.
Puppies are tough, man. There's a reason I wait a year and a half or so between dogs, is because by then you forget how much of a pain in the ass a puppy really is.
Yeah.
They are constant work, constant vigilance.
Yeah.
The last puppies I had were Bandit and Nixie.
Okay.
They're my last puppies. They were both raised in the van with me every single day from the day I got them going to work.
Yeah.
Every single day on the road, every single day, all the way
They're
across
always
the
with
country.
you. Yeah.
Completely different than having a dog at the house where you have to schedule training sessions. Training with us happened every single day, all the time.
You were living training.
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely different. I had Bandit and Nixie both housebroke completely within a month from 6-week-old puppies.
Yeah.
And they were fantastic.
Yeah.
River, same way. I picked her up at 10 months old. Let's go to work.
Yeah.
So she's been all over the country. Lola, not so much.
Yeah.
She's just good.
But like,
training dogs is difficult. My mother's been on me for quite a while to write a book on how to train dogs. And I said, I can't really tell you how to train a dog. I can train you how to be a better dog owner.
yeah. You could probably make videos.
Well, we're going to do that. My next puppy, after my new place is built, I'm going to journal daily.
Yeah.
Training this dog, all my interactions, all my anecdotes, and I'm going to give that to my mother. English major, been a teacher my whole life.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let her take that journal and turn it into a narrative.
Yeah.
That's one of the best things I could ever do in my life is write a book with my mom.
Well, what you could also do on top of that is film what you're doing, but just show what you're doing
In the moment.
And then apply voiceover from the book to the video.
Yeah.
And that would be a good solid way to do that.
A fellow named Will Atherton. He's a canine behavioralist
Yeah.
out of the UK. He's where I learned a lot of my training from.
Yeah.
He does basically the same thing. He has great videos on teaching your dog not to jump. Good
Yeah.
videos on recall, on associative bite force.
Okay.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's when a dog's playing with you and it's chomping on your hands. That's associative bite force.
Yeah.
a lot of dogs aren't getting that training now because they're taken away from their litter mates too soon.
That's what happened. 100%.
You need to let that dog stay with their pack for at least 10 or 11 weeks.
Yeah.
By then, they'll be big enough and strong enough to roughhouse and play with each other. And when they chomp on another dog too hard and that dog screams,
Yeah.
the whole pack's going to ignore that one animal.
Yeah.
And they're going to associate that bite force as a bad thing.
I would, if we were to do it again, I would have waited 3 more weeks. Like, we got him at right at 10 weeks. Mm-hmm. And he clearly hadn't had enough of that because he had no associative bite force.
Of course, at the time, you had no other dog, though, right?
No. We didn't have a dog at all.
Big difference. I already got an existing pack. They helped teach that.
Yeah. So we're trying to raise it. We took him from his litter to a completely strange environment, which he adjusted to fairly quickly. He was like super sad the first day, slept most of the time. I mean, once again, still a puppy, so he was sleeping the whole time. It took him a while to get used to the car ride. Eventually, he got better with that. But the biggest problem, like, he was bonding with me because I was the only one ever home. The other thing I guess we could have done differently was we were trying to crate train him, but the only place we could put the crate was in the living room under the table.
Yeah.
One, I just wanted to give him some sense of security for that, but he would cry nonstop in the crate. Like, literally would never stop crying, no matter what.
Did he have any enrichment devices or anything in there with him?
Yeah. He had stuff in there. I put a little thing in there to some with the little clock or whatever. Yeah. So I did that for a heartbeat. I had at least some toys in there with him and stuff like that. So I put him in the crate when I went to work, which was roughly 3.5 hours. Yeah. I wasn't doing anything crazy, and he would cry the entire time.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the entire time. And then I'd let him out and everything else like that. I'd take him out immediately. Like, he got to the point like he would pee anywhere and everywhere. Like, we stopped crating.
See, that's tough. Crate training initially is designed to make that dog associate that particular space as his.
Yes.
And dogs, where they sleep, they tend not to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. And
the goal is to expand his associated safe space.
Yeah.
With little gates and stuff like that, and open up his environment little by little into the rest of the house.
And that's what we would have attempted to do had it not failed so utterly right at the beginning. And
well, you also got to remember the rule of threes when getting a new dog.
Yeah.
3 days to decompress, 3 weeks to feel at home, and 3 months to finally feel that they belong and nothing's going to happen to them.
And we didn't get that far.
That's
because 2 weeks. A
lot of people hit that block at the 2 week part, 2 or 3 week part, and it gets so frustrating. You just have to be stubborn and drive on past it.
The hardest part was that, you know, he had gotten really good about holding himself for the most part overnight, and then while I was gone.
Once again, were you at an apartment?
Yes.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
I'm so spoiled and have been for a long time. When a dog gets me up, I stagger to the door, open the door, go back to bed.
Yeah.
The dog will be on the porch when I wake up.
Yeah. So we got to put him on the balcony, in theory, because I think we even had, if I recall correctly, I think we had one of the fake grass thingies, and we put it out there so he could, if he had to, he could just go, but he would just piss on the fucking concrete instead. So they got to go out there with a fucking bottle of water, wash it off. But like, he got better by, like, say day 10. He was doing really well. And then day 11, it's like starting over. He started pissing and shitting everywhere. Let me ask you if you've ever seen this. You ever seen a dog piss on its own feet?
No.
He did. He literally, he fake sat. So he was way too smart. He went over to the carpet. Was it that rug? It was that rug, I think. Yeah, it was that rug. He went over to the rug, pretended he was just sitting there, and pissed on his own feet so that he wouldn't get in trouble. Of course, he immediately got in trouble.
He tried to hide it.
Tried to hide it. And like, he was doing it right in front of me because I was sitting there playing with him. It's like I'd just taken him outside and ran him for like 25 minutes. He didn't use the bathroom the whole time he was outside.
Dog.
He came inside, stared at me, and pissed on the fucking rug like that.
Now, what corrective measures were you taking when that stuff like that happened?
Well, there was the initial, hey, don't do that. And then there was spraying at him.
No.
But
some people think I'm too physical.
Okay.
But I utilize.
I would also bonk, but not like
having
smack.
multiple dogs, especially multiple big dogs, pit breeds mostly.
Yeah.
I run a very, very tight pack mentality.
Yeah.
To where I'm alpha and I correct things when they happen quickly, violently, and effectively.
Okay.
You want that dog to think for about 3 seconds it's about to die.
Yeah.
And then you stop, back off, pretend nothing ever happened, ignore that animal for a little while.
Yeah.
Completely ignore it. Once again, associative bite force.
Yeah.
It's ingrained in them. That's how packs operate.
Okay.
They ostracize the bad behaviors.
Yeah. So I would smack him a bit, but nothing bad.
You got to wail on them.
Yeah, but
I mean, it sounds awful.
He was like that big, so obviously I didn't want to hit him too hard.
Still,
yeah.
You want that. You want to get it clear through that animal's mind that behavior is not proper.
Yeah.
You know.
So at that point,
that's where a lot of people fail.
Yeah. That's
some people run that positive reinforcement training very, very well, and they're very, very successful with it.
Yeah.
I'm just not that guy.
So I would always reward good behavior and punish bad behavior. Clearly, I didn't punish hard enough, but also once again, 2 weeks.
Still.
To be fair, 2 weeks.
You want to get the dog's attention.
Yeah, but like I said, he was doing really well. Like he was doing so well, he was walking with me off leash at 12 weeks old.
Right.
And he would stay right beside me, and if he would start to go, I'd snap at him, and he'd come right back to me.
That's what I'm working out with the small pony.
Yeah,
because her off leash behavior is awful.
And then he didn't run off, but like he saw this little girl, and like right down the sidewalk. I was just walking him around the complex there, and he was doing okay on the leash, and then he started pulling really bad, and then just started completely fighting it. And I said, okay, well, if you're going to do this, we're going to try to keep it reined in. So I took him on little walks to get him used to no leash. Obviously, I wasn't just going to let him run because I couldn't. If we had a gated dog area that I could have just let him run like a moron, I would have 100%. They were supposed to do that right about the time we moved out. But he actually bit this little girl, but not horribly. But puppy bite. I said, be careful. He doesn't know how to not bite hard. And then I had to go to my mom's, and I was stuck with him. So he had to ride with me, and he was scared to shit. Like, he so scared of the car. And I had to do something. I forgot what I was working on. I think I was working on the car, actually, or a car. And so I left him in the house with Mom because they no longer... their dogs were gone, and they no longer had a back fence to keep them contained. Like it used to be you could just let them go in the backyard and let them run around like an idiot, but they took down the back fence after the dogs were dead. Like, thanks. Because they have property, you know, but I would never have let them just go because the front, they used to just, they took down the front fence entirely because it was falling apart. So the whole front yard was wide open, but then they had a fenced in backyard around the pool area. So you just, go out there, shit, whatever. But not anymore at that point. So she had to keep him indoors until he needed to go to the bathroom. And while I'm out there working on the car, I come in to check her and get some water, and he had bit the shit out of her.
Oh.
And it was just being unruly. And I'm like, well, I still got to do what I got to do. So just smack him if something goes wrong.
Oh, my bandit bit the hell out of Mark Ernest.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was a puppy. And I said, Mark, be careful. He's got sharp teeth.
Yeah.
He said, I'll be all, ow.
Yeah. Basically what happened with my mom.
He laid him open.
Yeah. That's basically what happened with my mom with Jibo. And and I have a picture of her holding him, and he's like, whatever. And, I got him all the chew toys and stuff. I even got him like a big monkey.
But once again, he didn't learn that bite.
He didn't learn it in time. Yeah, they clearly weren't to that level of playing yet around the house.
You also need, with a puppy, you need to discourage them mouthing you. And, they don't have hands, so their mouth is how they explore their environment.
Yes.
But still, you have to discourage them putting teeth on your hands.
I actually got him good. The only thing I did manage to keep him from doing was chewing on things that weren't his.
Yeah.
But he also was isolated to the living room and kitchen. So he couldn't go in the bedroom, tear anything up. Sure as hell wasn't going to go in the Shoky cave.
Yeah.
But the problem was that's where the carpet was. That's why he wasn't allowed in those areas. Now, would he have probably bonded better if he was crated in the bedroom with us? Maybe.
See, mine sleep beside my bed or on the bed.
Yeah. So, but when you first get them?
Yeah. We wait.
But and also a puppy who can't control his shit.
Well, once again, having a pack in place, the older dogs help.
The older dogs
told me that the puppy had to go out.
Yeah.
That's
useful. Yeah,
it really is.
So at this rate, like I got him to only chew on his. I think he only tore up like a piece of paper or something at most. Never got to like unlike Mazikeen, who seemed determined. 17 remotes
now.
Yeah,
that demon corgi.
She was always a demon, and like her like Lucifer is named after a demon, but somehow Mazikeen's the one that's worse.
Yeah, she's the not a nice dog.
No, cute as a button, but not nice. But
I remember when Winston was a pup.
10 years ago,
he met Bandit for the first time, or not Bandit, Buck. You don't remember Buck at all, do you?
I might.
You've
honestly
seen his picture on the mantle.
Well, because we were talking about Buck earlier. Whenever I still worked at Southern Star, so odds are yes, I met Buck.
But first time Winston met Buck, he was at the perfect height to stick his nose right in the Rusty Sheriff's badge.
Yep.
And
Rusty Sheriff's badge. What the
Buck?
I have never heard that before.
Buck jumped so hard and turned around and growled at him.
Yeah.
And Alicia said, well, is he growling? I said, hell, I'd growl too if he did that.
Yeah, I definitely would. So, like, and I'd never had, because I grew up with dogs. You know, we had a golden retriever named Bingo. We had him from puppy to death until my dad had to put him down. And then we had 3 dogs in the interim, 2 bird dogs and 1 collie mix. And she didn't last very long because she fell in a septic tank and got parvo.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so she died like a week out. She got severe parvo and they put her down. Like,
vaccinate your dogs.
Well, there was no time. Like, we only had her for like a month.
Yeah.
And she got out, and that's how we discovered that there was an open septic tank in the woods next to us. We'd always theorized that there was a trailer back there at some point, because the land clearly had been cleared and stuff like that at some point. How we never fell in it as kids, because we always played in that same lot.
Oh, wow.
The dog fell in it, and she disappeared, and my dad heard her crying somehow. And, yeah, it was a septic tank that still had stuff in it, but it was open. So she fell in that, and then basically a week later, parvo, dead, whatever. But the 2 bird dogs were basically mine. That was AJ and Rooter. And AJ had horrendous red mange.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah, and there's no cure for that. That's given to them from their mother on the way out, basically. So instead of putting them down when they became a huge handful, we took them to the Montgomery County shelter. And my dad tried to make me give away my own dogs on a Saturday morning. Yeah. Like a dickhead.
Oh, mine were taken from me. Well, we moved from Hobbs, New Mexico to Jackson, Missouri.
Yeah.
And, straight. Both my dogs gone.
They just stole them?
No, Dad gave them away.
Oh, okay.
But well, I mean, we were moving to a rent house that had no yard or anything.
Well, see, the only reason he was doing that because they were tearing up our yard. They were digging out. Like, they had their own little fenced-in pen. They would dig out of that, get out in the main yard, and then dig out from under the fence and go cause problems with our neighbors.
See, I can't have that now.
No, they were just diggers. There was nothing to do about it.
You know, at the farm right now, we have no fence to keep the dogs in. Yeah. So dogs that like to run off have retention collars.
Yeah.
It's a transmitting base station up to 300 meters, adjustable.
Yeah.
When they hit that range, it starts beeping, vibrating, then shocking.
So it's no longer an invisible fence in the ground. It's a base station at the house.
Yes.
Okay.
We have one on the front, one on the back, because interference to the house limits the range.
Gotcha. Well, because I was wondering, because now I see a lot of people as I get around for work who don't seem to have, they clearly have some type of limiting collar, but no thing marking a fence.
There are the higher end collars that use GPS. Okay. And on your phone, you can pull out a map anywhere in the world and draw a temporary fence.
Really?
You go camping, whatever, draw around your camp.
That's cool.
Those, I looked at them. It's like $500 to get started and like $120 a year.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's hit and miss within a 20-meter distance where the boundary is.
Yeah, that makes sense. You don't want
to. But at the same time, if your dog runs off, you can find it and track it
because you know exactly where the kid. Yeah, the kid. Yeah, where the kid is.
We looked at doing air tags or the tile tags.
Yeah.
But out in the country, those run off of other people's cell signals.
Yeah.
They're standby and cell signals.
Yes.
And out in the country, there's
nothing. It's just you. Yeah. Well, if you don't find them, you don't find them, right? At that point. Stop hitting the counter. It makes noise every time you do. Bang yourself. Different noise. It's a squishy noise.
Like mashed potatoes.
So basically, it's like you have spyware on your dog.
Yeah.
In a way. So speaking of spyware.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Canada getting caught.
I read about that.
Putting facial recognition software in vending machines, apparently. And I should say it wasn't Canada that did it. It's just where they found this particular thing at this Canadian university.
Well, that company in itself said they used demographic recognition software. So they could tell what age groups were buying what products at different areas.
Yeah, and probably also ethnicities.
Yeah.
And things like that. And by the way, guys, so what happened was a student walked up on this vending machine, and there was, I guess it was an error that popped up on it that said basically, whoop, the facial recognition's not working. He's like, excuse me?
Then the student started looking around and found little pinholes where the cameras are.
Yeah. So hidden cameras on vending machines, basically doing facial recognition software to track who is coming there, buying what and when, and selling that information to someone, presumably.
And of course, there's no telling how much of that's going on anywhere else.
If I recall in that article, it said there was somewhere else, probably in Europe, where it had been caught as well.
Oh, I'm sure.
In a similar situation. But it's like, and I keep seeing these little reels and whatnot about these guys who have these little finder devices that basically can pick up little cameras wherever.
Yeah, all those Airbnb nightmares you see.
Yes. Not only that, any hotels like I love the ones who people think the things are cameras and they're not, and they smash them.
Man, it's me. If they can keep their lunch down, go ahead.
Yeah, if you want to watch that, by all means. But at least if it's a perv setting up a camera to watch you in a bathroom, it's not. At least it's not some mega corporation taking your face and likeness and selling your information.
Yeah.
To someone else. Like, I'm sorry, if your vending machine is connected to Wi-Fi, I think we have a problem.
That's another thing.
And
all these smart homes, everybody connected to everything.
Yeah.
Nope.
No,
I'm having the dumbest home possible.
Yeah, same here. It's like Jessica wanted to get an Alexa, and I'm like,
nope.
No. Like, it's bad enough we have this thing that's constantly listening to us. I pointed at the phone, by the way, guys. It's always listening, always, and that's how you start getting fed ads. So I forget what I was talking about yesterday. In particular, I don't remember. And literally this morning got fed an ad for the thing I was talking about.
We were talking about that.
And I have that turned off, by the way.
We were talking about that with one of my longest friends. We'll call him Z.
Okay.
He was talking about that. So I sent him a voice message. You know how you can record your voice and send it as a text?
Of course.
All it said was penis, 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 dildo, 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 penis, penis. And that's it. Yeah. Next day, he got an ad for dildos.
Yeah.
He was so mad.
Thanks.
He was livid.
Now I'm going to get ads. Now I'm going to definitely, because well, actually, I don't know. It's on Do Not Disturb, so I have no idea how it's tracking right now. I'm probably missing like 4 phone calls from the wife or something. She's
probably.
Like, what the fuck is that asshole doing? I was like, I told her you were coming over. She should have known.
He's with another asshole.
Just with some other asshole and his dog. That's, oh my God, she's stupid fucking cute over there.
What's a group of assholes called? It's not a
Congress.
Flop. No, that's a baboon. That's a group of baboons.
It's a Congress of assholes is really what it turns into, or the DNC. I think is really what it's called.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. I make no bones about my political affiliations. Either way, moderate as fuck.
The table.
Moderate as fuck. I'm scared to hit this side because this is the overhang. It's like I'm worried it might actually snap off. It's not the best
Shocky
marble
smash.
work. It's not the best marble work, if I'm honest here. You know, it's better than the faux marble we had at the other place. So this is a full slab. You can feel underneath. Mm-hmm. We had the thin veneer that had the bull nose.
Oh no!
Over
that chips.
Yeah,
like crazy.
Yeah. So like it had the huge like 1-inch overhang, and then you could tell it was like super thin and just on top of plywood underneath.
This is better than laminate.
It was way better than laminate.
One of my old apartments, I was filling up one of my Nitro Traxxas trucks.
Yeah.
And
nice.
fuel got on it and melted the shit out of the...
Oh, yeah. I did that. I melted a little bit of the countertop at our first apartment.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to. I just spilled something I didn't think about.
Little beast of a 1.8 horsepower.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you see the little section right there where the toaster's at?
Yes.
That is only vaguely attached to the wall. So when I had to pull the stove out to clean behind it.
Oh, it has a loose association with the wall behind it?
Damn near knocked that thing off completely. So, and then the corner back there, there's a joint piece And, you know, whenever they cement that shit together, it's supposed to be perfectly smooth.
Right.
Since we moved in, it has steadily dropped. And I was like, I mentioned that to my buddy Kyle, who's done countertops and stuff like that. He's like, that shouldn't be possible.
Right.
Yeah, definitely get a picture of her.
Of course.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll send it to Jessica.
Gotcha.
Yep. She just likes the couch. Like,
well, the previous owner said she gets in bed with him, dives under the covers, and won't come out.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's really what she wants. Well, that's fine. She doesn't stink.
Well, not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. 100% not yet.
She's a big dog. They can.
Yeah. All right. So back to the spying shit. My question is, how far does that shit go? Like
whereas used in other applications.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, sure, this one.
I'm sure it's all over Walmart. Every single Walmart, their camera systems probably utilize it.
You know what people don't realize at Walmart that they have now? There are cameras above the self-checkout aimed down to make sure that you purchase everything.
That you do their job for them.
Well, because a lot of people were doing the old trick of
the banana trick.
They're just not that, and then it would tell them no to scan that item. And what are you talking? They don't realize there's cameras aimed at them doing that. Not only are there cameras on the thing, there's cameras above them and a camera from another angle. So yeah, there's just Martha over there weighing 600 pounds and 35 inches wide, monitoring the self-checkout, but the cameras are what's actually doing the policing.
Right.
Because if you don't pay for that shit, it will automatically trigger, as far as I know, will automatically trigger LP to come have an intervention outside the door if necessary. And then that usually turns into someone getting squatted on in the parking lot and dying.
I avoid Walmart as much as possible.
And
here lately, I've been doing the curbside at Kroger's and HEB.
I'm not going to tell Jessica about that because she wants to do that. I'm like, bitch, we can shop. We need to exercise.
Well, a lot of times, like right now with
her, you have a horse to haul around, but like I've got no reason to not go shopping.
True. But I've always got a dog with me. If it's middle of summer, I'm going to do the curbs. I'm going to set an order and pick it up on the way home the next day.
Yeah, I mean that totally makes sense for you, But I mean, like for just normal everyday people, it's just sheer fucking laziness.
True.
And like it's like I'm lazy enough. I don't need more things helping me be lazy.
It also depends on what you're shopping for.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to let anyone else pick up my briskets, my steak, my roast.
Dude, who was it? It was a friend of mine on Facebook who did a curbside thing. And, how it's got the substitution option. The stuff that got substituted wasn't even remotely close to the object she was asking for.
Right.
I'm just like, well, that's fucking retarded. Like, why?
Well, I needed detergent. They gave me Spam.
Yeah. I mean, you can sort of wash your clothes with that. Oh, speaking of that, I forgot.
Can of ham.
No, I don't have anything to wash it, and I got it.
I thought you were going to get some Spam.
I could use some Spam.
Don't get me wrong. I make a fantastic sandwich out of it.
I like Spam. I like fried Spam.
Yep. Fried Spam. I do tomatoes with my steak seasoning grilled.
Yeah.
Lettuce, touch of mustard. Best sandwich ever.
Nice.
On a brioche.
Of course. Lightly toasted brioche. Yeah. Look, people don't do enough brioche in their life. Now, I do most of my burgers on brioche at this point.
Brioche, if you find the brioche bread, the loaf of it, game changer.
Yeah. Except it's just so much.
But it's so soft.
Yeah. And like sometimes you need a heartier bread.
Like sourdough.
Or something along those
lines.
Rye
or something like that.
Most people don't like rye. Rye has its applications, obviously, but
yes. Yeah, corned beef, Reuben,
usually hearty pickled meats.
Yeah, corned beef, sauerkraut, a little bit of hot Russian dressing.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a good place for it.
Yep. I'm getting hungry. Thanks, fucker.
That's why we're not skinny.
Yeah, this is entirely true. I was going to blame genetics, but instead I'll just blame the U.S. food industry.
No, it's sitting there eating dinner, wondering what you're going to have for dinner the next day.
What do you mean the next day? It's like I'm worried about second dinner, followed by dessert. What are you talking about? It's like, it's like, what am I going to do after I'm done with these large tots? It's like, oh, that's right. I'm going to eat the double burger and then the cheese sticks. Because you don't eat the cheese sticks.
And then
first.
Piece of cake. Why not?
Well, fuck yeah. I mean, I had Oreos in between breakfast and eating chips and dip.
I've been cutting out the sweets.
I need to.
I
need to, but I have.
We went out years ago with some friends, and after leaving the Richmond Arms pub down off of Westheimer, we went to Katz's Deli. They wanted dessert. They all got ice cream. I got a French dip.
I get it.
I was happy.
So I've only been to Katz's once, and I enjoyed it.
The one in Westheimer?
No, I went to the Express in the Woodlands.
Go to the one on Westheimer. It's badass.
It's a long drive. But
to quote Mitch Hedberg, they bring you your sandwich, ask if you need something else. You said a loaf of bread and some more people.
Yeah.
Because it's huge.
Well, so like I said, I haven't been to that Katz's. I've been to the Katz's Express. I think I got a meatball sub and a cheesecake shake, which was literally a whole slice of cheesecake.
$25.
Yeah. And it was stupid. But I was skinnier.
I thought we were always skinnier in the past.
Yeah. Well, yeah, mostly. I mean, I was big at plenty of points, but I was like significantly skinnier back then. 100 pounds, give or take.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So that's when I had a metabolism. It was great. So just on that note, there used to be 1-a-day pills that were for or multivitamins that helped with metabolism. And it wasn't, as far as I know, it wasn't like the weight loss pills.
Oh, so they didn't have like a multivitamin with stackers?
No.
Which are awesome.
So I had those things, and I kept my weight down no matter what I ate. And I was just started at my job. Mm-hmm. So I was working my ass off out in the summer all day long. So I could eat junk food and drink beer all night long and not gain a pound. Within 2 years, they got rid of that multivitamin and started pushing the diet pills instead, which are so much worse.
Yeah.
So whatever was in that diet, whatever was in those multivitamins, and it was a straight up 1-a-day, like name brand 1-a-day, and they got rid of that shit. It was
probably like cilia fiber and stuff like that, just to flush you out.
Well, I mean, it didn't do that. Whatever it did to build my metabolism worked, and I was still in my 20s, so I also still had a metabolism. But back on the food track. So what I was getting at was I've not been to Katz's, but I've been to Kenny and Ziggy's.
Haven't been there. Yes, I have once.
Yeah, it's basically Katz's in the same way.
Yeah, it was badass.
Yeah, and you go in there, you spend $70, you get 2 sandwiches. It's going to take 4 days to eat.
Yeah, wife got bagels and lox.
Yeah,
and I got a Reuben.
I got so my ex got a Monte Cristo there that weighed like 2.5 pounds.
Those are good.
It was like 2.5 pounds. It was fucking absurd.
Yeah, that's my go-to at Cheddar's.
I got I've had Cheddar's. I had to think about it.
The best is Mel's Diner. Tom Ball.
Not had that, but I miss the Monte Cristo from Bennigan's.
The one from Cheddar's is very similar.
It is. But what
they're talking about bringing Bennigan's back, along with Steak and Ale
again. I mean, if they can bring back the same food,
so would it be begin again's?
Yeah. Return again's. Return of the Bennigan's. Shenanigans. Yeah. If you guys are watching the video, you saw us both do it. Either way, but the first time I went there with my ex, she got it was like what the hell exactly was it? It was like, I think it was like corned beef under like half a cabbage head or something like that.
Ooh.
So it was like a half a ball of just meat under half a ball of cabbage.
Like
shell.
Raw cabbage?
Yeah. It was weird.
Let's see, steam that joke or season the cabbage.
I think they did. But it was like, what the fuck is this? And then I got like a turkey and Swiss or whatever. But it was literally, well, it was like, I guess it was like their version of a club, kind of. It was like the top quarter was like turkey, the bottom was like roast beef or corned beef or something, thick slice in between, and
then like a cabbage steak in between it.
No, it was just bread, but still, and then some cheese on it. But the damn thing was this tall and that wide.
So it was a Dagwood.
Almost. Like legitimately, you could just break off just the turkey. And then just the roast beef off of 1/4 of it.
I has 2 sandwiches.
No, you have 4 sandwiches. Literally, cut this bitch into fucking halves, and then you have 4 sandwiches. And I mean, no joke, it was like $75 for 2 of us to eat there. Mm-hmm. But we went one time because I would think I've been there 3 times. One time, kids be what they are. This lady got lunch with her. I don't remember his son or daughter at this point. Kid. Genderless kid.
Crotch goblin. Gotcha.
trans kid. That kid took like 2 bites out of a massive grilled cheese and left it a gigantic plate of fries untouched. And they just fucking left.
Oh, good grief.
It was legit like 1.5 pounds of fries.
I can't leave anything
and nobody
on the table.
touched it. It was like, I'm sitting there looking at my girlfriend, and I'm like, I'm just gonna take those fucking fries. I'm like, it's a whole plate of fries. It's not like some fries. It's a whole ass plate of fries.
I've done that before. I've taken other people's leftovers and used it to bait the hog trap.
Oh, I've just taken other people's leftovers and eaten them. Look, I'm poor sometimes, and if you've left enough food on the table that I have time to get it, I mean, I think I've eaten somebody's like chicken fingers.
Well, we were also the clean your plate generation, raised by the.
Which is also why we're fat. Yeah. No matter how big the plate is, we're cleaning that bitch.
We're still going to service ourselves way too much and still clean the plate.
Yeah, and then we're going to service ourselves again. Now what I meant. Hold on, I want to get a picture of this. I want to send that to Jessica later. Oh man. But yeah, no.
She's finally comfortable. She might not want to leave.
Yeah, but no, I like how we went from government and corporations spying on us to ridiculous sandwiches.
Distract them.
So this is what they do. This is what they absolutely do to us, you know.
Oh.
But no, it is the spying bullshit is getting ridiculous. And like I could have sworn there was legislation about this not long ago, and somehow we just, well, I mean, mind you, that's Canada. They don't believe in freedom.
Slide enough money, make enough people turn their heads and do whatever the hell they want.
And once again, Canada. You know, they're already fascist as it is.
Yeah.
You know, I feel bad for my Canadian friends who still live up there.
You know, you only makes you think how long it'll be before the government's utilizing that, monitoring everybody, everywhere, doing everything.
Cell phones.
True.
They already do. It's like, I mean, Facebook monitors people constantly. That's why I make a joke sometimes. Me and Sean are sending voicemails back and forth, or voice messages. And I said, just kidding, FBI. And there's one time it's like I said, hey, FBI guy, you might not want to listen to this. It's going to be really gross. And then I continued talking.
Right.
Because I don't say CIA because they're not supposed to be operating on American soil.
Of course
wink,
not.
Wink.
They never do. Never will.
No, never have.
No.
Yeah, CIA has definitely never, ever been used to prosecute American citizens on American soil.
Yeah, the government has the citizens' best interest at heart.
Always.
Everything they do.
That's what they're here for. They're from the government. Yeah. They're here to help.
It's one of the funniest jokes ever.
Yeah, the most terrifying words you could possibly ever hear. Hi, I'm from the government. I'm here to help.
No, wait, they're here to help.
Let's ask Louisiana about that from Katrina and Mike.
Or there's a family in Utah that may have something to say about that.
Not anymore.
No.
Oh, Jesus. What a joke of a fucking country we live in at this point.
Well, all you can do is be ready.
Yeah.
6 months of standby supplies and hunker down and take care of you and your own.
How long is it till November? Because we've got roughly that long.
How many shootings we're going to have between now and then? 4 or 5?
Oh, in total? Yeah. 20. Dude, September's going to be ridiculous.
They got to push that Second Amendment legislation somehow, and they need the fear factor to do it.
Yeah, but half the government is focusing on how to punish half of the United States, and the rest of it is all going to punishing one man for leading that half. You know,
while the rest of the government's looking like, you know, the hundreds and thousands of men and women just like me going, we need to keep an eye on them because reasons.
Yeah.
We're going to piss them off eventually.
Well, you're one of them psychotic redneck preppers.
Yeah, with, you know, a little bit of training under me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're ex-military.
Well, I'm not a prepper. I'm just
organized. Organized well in advance.
I'm not psychotic. I was tested.
I passed their test twice.
Right?
It's like I'm not psychotic. I'm sociocotic. That's not a word, but I'm using it. It's like I'm not a psychopath. I'm a high functioning sociopath. Thank you. Who said that?
Who was that? Sherlock?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was Sherlock.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Indeed.
That's one of the single best portrayals of Sherlock Holmes I've ever seen in my life.
It's the best.
I mean, better than anybody.
Nobody else. I'm sorry.
And
It's tops.
The fellow that played Holmes Watson was great.
Yeah. Martin Sheen.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why they're a fantastic duo, and that show should have continued on.
I actually bought all the seasons. They're like 5 and change on Amazon. So in mine,
I don't own them, but I've watched them repeatedly wherever they're available.
Yeah.
And I got Jessica into it. So I was already... Oh, somebody's up.
she's fine.
I know. What's up, baby? She's like, but new dad. I want to go out now. I took a nappy nap.
Large human.
Yes. We can take her out. It's been a couple hours.
Oh, she's fine.
Okay.
She sat in the truck for a good while last night.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to punish her if I don't have to. You know, we have places for dogs to urinate and whatnot.
No, if you need a break.
Yeah, I might need to get up. My butt's hurting. But what was I saying before?
That's what she said.
What was I saying? Oh, I don't remember. I lost my train of thought.
Me too.
Yeah, completely.
You distracted us.
I did. All right, so either way, I mean, we're already at over 2 hours. You know, we can pause there.
Yep.
No big deal. Yeah, we can go take her out for a walk and go get some exercise. Let her sniff everybody else's bullshit.
Yep.
Yep.
Let her
All
run
right.
around, act like a goofball.
Yep. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it for this episode. I know it's just kind of a stream of consciousness of this one, but that's okay. I didn't even get into talking about the other stuff that I managed to watch in the past week or so, but it's okay. You know what I finally went and did? I know you talked about not having Disney Plus and stuff.
Yeah.
I finally went and watched Daredevil Season 3.
Okay, I haven't seen that one. I've seen 1 and 2.
I saw 1 and 2, and I saw Defenders. And then I never watched any of the stuff that happened after Defenders.
Okay.
I didn't know there was a Jessica Jones
Now,
Season 3.
Did the Daredevil Season 2 and Punisher kind of mesh?
I think Punisher picks up after that, but I never watched Punisher.
Okay, that was really good.
Okay, so I started watching Jessica Jones Season 2 again because I couldn't remember that shit anymore. And that's post Defenders. And I never finished Luke Cage Season 2. And I never knew that Iron Fist went 3 seasons.
No, me either.
I mean, I totally didn't know. I'm like, it's like, and at this point, like, it's all getting reborn, you know, pun intended, with Daredevil coming back now.
Yep.
With Born Again, and we just watched. So, I never saw how the Kingpin story ended in that show.
What, with Vincent D'Onofrio as
Yes.
Kingpin?
So
that was one of his best roles ever.
And since he came back in, you haven't seen it, but he came back in Hawkeye and Echo.
Okay.
So Echo,
That Kingpin character he plays is fantastic.
he's ridiculous. He's so damn good. But
And he goes from this mild-mannered, quiet,
yes,
gentle giant to just ripping your face off.
yes, and the manipulation of everything, even to the point of utilizing the FBI as his own private police force in Season 3 is crazy because the FBI doesn't even know they're getting played.
Yeah. I mean, long game.
And not only that, it shows how his fingers have spread even while in prison. Because you see him telling his lawyer to go do things, but you never see what he's doing.
Oh, there's so many shot callers in prison running all kinds of stuff still.
And that's one reason. And it was in Season 2 or Season 3 is when he gained the name Kingpin. After he took down the previous guy named Kingpin in prison. And he used somebody else to manage that. But his manipulation of Daredevil, of the FBI, of everyone else, and then even introducing Bullseye to the canon was great.
How'd they do with the Bullseye intro?
Oh, he's great.
Because I remember in the original Daredevil movie.
Okay, so he's not like that. He's not the goofy, crazy. He's a crazy guy.
That was Ben Affleck, right?
Daredevil was Ben Affleck.
Yeah,
and
because the Bullseye had the scars tattooed on his forehead.
So they never even give him the name Bullseye, but he shows off his skills. And at some point when he's playing baseball, he plays for the Bullseyes, and he's got it on his hat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I see what they're doing now.
See, I get Bullseye and the dude from The Tick confused all the time.
Yeah, it makes sense, yeah. But the funny part is like, you couldn't... They keep putting Daredevil up against really good marksmen.
Yeah.
It's like, Season 2 was Punisher. Wait, Season 2 was... No, Season 1 was Punisher. Now I'm confused. Shit.
Punisher wasn't good marksmanship. It was superior.
Well, he did
victory
everything.
via superior firepower.
Yeah, so but
I mean, it was volume.
But he was sniping at the end before he left and went off to go do his own thing. He was like sniping fools from a rooftop to help him out against the Hand. Okay, so that was Season 2.
But before that, it was 240 Bravo, just unleashing belt fed.
True. And I haven't watched the Punisher series, but everybody tells me it was great. So I'll do that eventually. But I wanted to get caught up on some of that stuff because post Echo, I was like, okay, well, how did the Kingpin get to this point? Because now it's canon.
Yeah.
Now all of that is canon to the world. So, all right. So either way, like I said, I wanted to talk about that, but it's okay. Because with you, it's hard to talk modern stuff because you're watching so many old things.
Well, I just finished up Game of Thrones last month.
Okay. So,
I'm that far behind.
Okay. So next time you come back, we can talk more Game of Thrones and stuff like that. So now that you finish Game of Thrones, you have to watch House of the Dragon.
I heard it's rough.
It's not.
No, I heard like the first couple episodes are just...
Oh, the first couple episodes are kind of rough, but it gets better and season 2 is coming. So I'll be talking about season 2 once it's here.
Like Winter, season 2 is coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
So season 2, they've already shown the promos for it, so it's coming this summer. Irony. But because it's not winter, it's just whatever. So
that might have been on purpose.
Yeah. But the actual story of House of the Dragons, which is in this season, will begin the Dance of the Dragons, which is a huge thing for the Targaryens.
Isn't that R.R. Martin right now is talking about releasing another book?
He is refusing. He's refusing to. Well, he already wrote prequels.
Oh yeah,
but in side books and side stories. So he's actually done entire stories on the Targaryen rebellion and all the bloodshed that came from this show.
Isn't one of the books he wrote about the kingdom of Dawn, the Dawnish people?
Something. Dorne.
Yeah, Dorne. Yeah.
I don't know if he wrote a whole book about that, but he was starting writing tomes about like different stuff without finishing the actual story. He has no intention, from what we can tell, to ever finish writing the books. Ever. So that's the crazy part.
Well, they had to deviate so much from the
He's
books
like
anyway.
78 and hasn't actually written he has not continued the story in well over 15 years.
Well, having read all the books first and then watching the movie, I was
the shows
miffed.
Yeah. Everybody was. Don't worry about that. Yeah, everybody was.
Yeah.
But me being just a show watcher,
because I was that asshole.
I wasn't miffed till the end.
Ask people, hey, you want to know who dies next?
Yeah. Yeah. So I had a couple of those things spoiled for me here and there, but I also watch these fucking shows on YouTube. They do spoiler talk, but they send the shit weeks early, so they have these things ready to go at midnight when the show drops. It's like, asshole, and they literally put a spoiler in the fucking thumbnail,
right?
And it's like, okay, well,
here's an undead dragon.
Like I knew that, like. I knew that John was killed before they killed him in season 3 or whatever it was.
But he didn't die. He came back.
He died. He was dead, but he was resurrected. But also just the fact that they completely abandoned his story.
Everything. And then they went on to the everything beyond the wall, the dead army coming down. Yeah. They added the undead dragon for some reason. That confused me.
Well, I don't know if that was an addition or it was just they never got to that point.
They didn't touch on it in the books.
Yeah, I think they just never got to that point.
The Game of Thrones ended with everything falling apart. Daenerys jumping on the black dragon, flying away, and never coming back. At least that's where or did I miss something?
I don't know that they got to that point. Did they?
Yeah.
Because he never finished the story.
No.
Not even close. Because he's supposed to
Daenerys was still alive.
Yeah.
When she rode off on the black and never came back.
She rode off on Drogon and didn't come back. Okay, because I know he left off halfway through Winds of Winter.
Yeah.
Winds of Winter, he's only like halfway through and didn't finish. And then he still had Dream of Spring, which is the finale. So he has like 1.5 books to fucking write, and he has no interest in finishing.
So in the books,
and I doubt he has any idea what the hell he's doing anymore.
Yeah, in the books, Daenerys didn't even make landfall on Winterfell or anything yet.
Yeah,
I mean, she was just
because
still across the sea.
I forget the exact part that they left off on, and because
it was after everybody rebelled.
Yeah,
and the overseers started killing everybody and all the people with the masks.
Yeah,
and when she was driven out of that city initially, she jumped on the black and just took off.
Okay.
Bye.
Dragon.
Whatever, the black.
Just jumped on the black. It just sounds really bad. That might be the title of the episode. And people have to listen all the way to the end. And be like, what the hell does this episode mean?
Downloaded the wrong version.
Like I said, sometimes the unedited gets extra titles. So either way, I hope this hasn't been too rough for you.
That's good.
Okay. So if you are interested in coming back, obviously the doors will be open.
Sweet.
Yeah, by all means. And I'll let you talk next time.
This is more of me just hanging out, watching you. And
yeah, well, it's like, because you got to get the vibe for it. It's your first time. I want to ease you in.
Once I jump on something I know something about, I won't shut the hell up.
Yeah. So that's where we'll get there. We'll get there. And plus, there was no plan for today at all. It was just, you mentioned that you had watched The Sand Job, and I hadn't gotten to it just yet because, spoilers, on Drive Tribe, Richard Hammond saved another vehicle he saved his Aston.
No.
Yeah. So they brought the Aston back to the Drive Tribe shop.
Did he put the camper back on it?
I haven't seen that yet. I haven't watched it.
They ripped it off. That was funny as hell.
Okay, so that was one of those moments where I was doing something else and I heard what was going on, and I'm like, what the fuck? I think I was messing with the laundry, and I was letting it play.
What I was disappointed in is they didn't do the crazy modifications to make them give themselves somewhere to sleep and all that. Hammond's the only one that thought of that. Well, hindsight.
Yeah, but at least they gave them tents.
Yeah.
At least. I mean, like, that way they didn't have to sleep in their cars like they did on that one trip. Remember where they ended up at the dam? And they didn't realize they're at the base of a giant dam? Yep. And they're like, oh, let's leave. I don't even remember what trip that was. I know it was Top Gear. I just don't remember.
Season 2019, something like that.
I think that was Grand Tours. No, the cars were. They were doing
GT cars, yes.
Yeah, GT cars. That's what I'm saying, Grand Tourers. Yeah, so that's why it was hard to sleep in them, because that's when May got that fucking Aston Martin race car that was like all tube framed and no quiet and everything like that, no key.
Just killing him the entire time.
Yeah, the whole time, no seat, and he had to buy that's when he was naked pouring water on himself driving down the mountains in the middle of the summer. Yeah, that was a great one.
Oh God, what was the one where he got that open cockpit car and was driving through the mud and all that? It was the Ariel Atom. The Caterham.
The Caterham. It was the Caterham.
Madagascar, right?
Might have been.
He had the big tires on the back of the Caterham.
Yeah, I remember the Caterham. I just don't remember.
That was the same one where Hammond put the tracks on the Ford Focus, right? Focus RS.
Yeah, and then that failed hard.
And he was going through like excrement nonstop. It was just a muddy mess.
Now I remember. It's been a while. Because that was 2 seasons ago, I think.
In preparation to watch The Sand Job, I went through all the Grand Tour. Yeah. Just back to back.
I guess we have roughly the same amount of time to watch bullshit. It's just different time of day.
Well, I got nothing else to do at work. I get paid. Yeah. I get paid well to sit on my butt, stare at an empty parking lot, and do nothing.
Yeah, at work I watch podcasts because I can't pay attention to the screen.
I thought you're supposed to be driving.
I mean, I'm watching podcasts. Quotation marks. Question marks. But at home, obviously, I'll watch things. But because I'm at home making content so often that I can't just sit in front of the TV. And then when Jessica comes home, she dominates the TV.
Right.
So, by the way, I was going to say right before we go, did you get a chance to watch Shane Gillis's opening SNL monologue?
No.
From this past weekend?
No, I don't keep up with SNL or any of that.
Okay, but you know who Shane Gillis is?
I do not.
You don't?
No.
Okay, fuck. Now you have homework.
Okay.
Yeah, so go to YouTube, check out Shane Gillis.
I'll check him out.
And then you gotta watch Netflix. I
have been watching the weekly updates where they do the bad jokes for each other.
Okay,
that was great.
So here's the thing: Shane Gillis was fired from SNL a few years ago for an Asian imitation that he did on a podcast. He was imitating an Asian person. Yeah. So he got fired before ever actually doing anything for SNL. He got hired on, and then within a couple days, that made the rounds, and he was fired without ever actually doing anything for SNL. But now he's grown so big due to podcasting and his specials and doing things independently in his comedy career that SNL had him come back and actually do the opening monologue, and he did some skits.
I'll watch it tonight. It's saved.
Cool. And he also has a whole channel basically doing SNL skits.
Really?
Yeah. It was Gilly and... Fuck, I forgot the other word in there. So either way, basically, he's a stand-up comedian and a writer and all these other things. And he was already friends with Rogan and Bert Kreischer and all these guys from L.A. And he would have had a start on SNL in New York because he was a New York-based guy. Mm-hmm. And they fucked him out of his job right away.
For something that happened years ago.
Like a year before that even. Not even when he had gotten hired. Mm-hmm. So they fired him for it without him ever doing anything. And now they bring him back.
Is just getting
and
irritated.
Then they have the balls to bring him back. And The problem is
he does the same thing.
Well, he didn't do. Well, no. What he said. What I forgot. Go watch the opening monologue from this weekend because it was funny. Because he's like basically trying to do some of his normal stand-up material, but the cleanest material he can manage for TV. Because he does a bit about family members who have Down syndrome. Because he said, "It's like, yeah, I got family members who got Down syndrome, and I ducked that shit, but it nicked me." Because everybody says like, so if you watch his specials, if you watch his YouTube special and then his Netflix special, he does a lot of on. Yeah, your hair's been that way for a while. I wasn't going to tell you.
I appreciate it. Good looking out, brother.
No, you did it again. I was just going to let it go. So he does a bit about his uncle, who's got Down.
Wait, is that why you haven't been able to look at me?
Yeah,
asshole.
So. But he says that he's like, no, it's great, man. It's like they're the best people in the world. They're always having fun. They love everything. Yep. And he's like, my uncle, he's always sneaking. He's like, he doesn't like eating out at restaurants. He's always sneaking in grilled cheese sandwiches in his pockets. He'll make like 15 of those motherfuckers and just have them hidden. It's like that shit was funny. But so he did some of that in the stand up or in the opening monologue because he's like, I don't have any clean material. I'm doing what I can. Right. He's got 8 minutes to fill. And he's just like, he's doing his best.
I'm making this up.
But but what you have to see that has made him really famous is his Trump impression. Like he is a Trump supporter. He's a hardcore Trump supporter. And he does an insane Trump impression. Good. In fact, before you leave, I will show you his Trump impressions and get it on film as an addition for the patrons. We'll get an extra reaction out of Jeff here. So, buddy, thanks for coming.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Next, hopefully we'll manage this on a day when you can drink.
Tuesdays and Saturdays.
We'll see. Well, because I mean, most of the week I'm off by noon.
Well, because I can't go to work loaded and heavily armed.
True. So just when you can drink a little.
I can drink a little.
So Saturdays we could manage depending on the time of day. Tuesdays, I mean, just whatever.
Well, we could start early and hit Copperhead afterwards.
Oh no.
Or hit Copperhead.
Look, I'm already doing Copperhead like 2 nights a week. I can't do more.
Hit Copperhead and come back.
So last week I did Copperhead on Wednesday for men's group and then went back Thursday for trivia night.
How was trivia night? Good.
Fucking fun. Like,
holler at me if you need a backup.
I mean, I need a team, but
I'm in.
But you're at work. You're not at work yet.
Until midnight. 7 I can have 2 beers.
Yeah, 7 to 9. So on Thursdays.
Yeah, so, and I go to work at midnight.
Okay, so Thursday.
And dog.
So Thursday, meet me up there.
Cool, done.
Yep. And I have a new team name that I came up with last week. The first one, I just came up with some bullshit right off the bat. It was just Awkward SHOKY because it's a combination of this podcast and my name. So last week I had an epiphany. And I'm like, oh, I know what the team name will be from now on. Anal Bum Covers.
Anal Bum Cover.
Yeah.
See, I used to name everything after my dog, Buck. Yeah. His full name was Buck Futter.
Yeah.
Which was great because I'd take him to the vet, and I loved watching the vet tech come out with this file going, Buck Futter? Was sitting there, one guy, older guy, a little bit older than me. I hear him next to me, hear Buck Futter, and he goes, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Okay, so now we got plans. So Thursday trivia night, and then we'll figure out another day to record.
Sweet. Get me out doing something. I've become friggin' a social hermit, man, here lately.
Dude, we all do. And that's one thing about getting into this men's group that has changed for me is, one, meeting new people. And it's made up of people who are new to the area generally and have no friends. And since all my friends disappeared on me, I needed to make new friends.
Right.
So, like this past Saturday, we had card night here with a lot of the new friends and my cousin. You know, we're doing, like, I'm going to men's group tonight at Coffee Nampong. And then, because Wednesday night I've got Patreon shit. Join the SHOKY Patreon. If you want to see the uncut version of this podcast, plus reactions, plus any of my behind-the-scenes reviews and shit like that, and vlogs and whatnot. So either way, yeah, you even see pictures of the puppy over here. She's not really a puppy, but still.
Oh,
yeah, she ain't a pony. She's a pony. Yeah. So,
but lately it's been taking acquaintances, grabbing them by the shirt, and going, "You are now friend. Come."
Basically, that's what it's kind of turned into. Actually, it's happened to me.
We met years ago.
Yeah, we met years. Well,
sitting at the bar at Copperhead.
Yeah. So realistically,
and talking about one commonality.
Yeah.
Remember? Gunplay.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot how we got onto that conversation.
Me too.
There's no way to know.
You talked about doing a podcast,
well, that would have been my YouTube channel.
Yeah, doing the YouTube channel, talking about doing Gundam stuff. And I said, wait, I build.
Yeah, okay, that's how it happened. Because I couldn't remember. I'm glad you did.
Yay, me.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't show you my Gundam collection because it's all in box. But I'll take you in the cave here in a minute when we're done so you can see it. But yeah, so odds are I definitely served you beer when I worked at Southern Star. Mm-hmm. And then we drank.
I was always hanging out with Shannon Sneed, Ben Blair, Jeff Stern.
Of course, yeah.
And Paul.
BW?
No, yeah, BW.
Yeah.
I like BW. And what's his name?
What's that guy?
The dude that used to work with Ben. Jerry Lott. Crazy hair, big beard Jerry.
Oh, I never knew his name.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Well, Buck would always stand in front of Shannon. Shannon hated dogs. Hated dogs with a passion. And Buck would always stare right up at Shannon all day long, wagging his tail.
Yeah.
And he'd never pet him.
Yeah.
Well, one day he finally said, fine. He reached down and pet him. And big old smile on that dog's face.
Yeah.
Everybody was clapping.
Finally gave in. The touches, it happened.
It was funny.
That is funny. But yeah, beer brings people together. So that's what's funny is that, so coincidentally, the reason I know, so here's how the world works, right? Small world.
Words are hard. Come on.
Yeah, there. So I get into the men's group because of I Love Conroe, right? Facebook group. Jessica pushes me to go.
Yeah.
So I go there. I meet all the guys. The group starts growing. They need a new space to go to. And I'm like, well, there's probably other venues here. And then they announced that they'd be doing it at Copperhead. I'm already going to Copperhead at least one night a week. And I'm like, I'm in. As it goes. As I talked to James on Friday, the reason why they have it at Copperhead is because one of the parishioners at the sending church is in the bourbon whiskey group with Seth and all those guys.
Nice.
And frequents. I don't know his name, but he's a big South African guy. Probably would know him if I saw him, realistically. But it's just funny. That's why we're at Copperhead. So, I started going to the Wednesday night men's group at Copperhead, which obviously, if you want to ever come to that, you can if you're remotely interested.
Wednesdays, it's what, 7?
6 to 8.
Okay.
Yeah, so plenty of time. Because we had to move it up because we were going way over, and Mark's like, "Can y'all get the fuck out?" In a very polite way. That Mark
he's never that mean.
No, Mark would never. Well, he would, but not. It's like he'd have to be really.
Well, he'd do it to me because he's known me since I opened.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've only been going there for 5 years.
Yeah.
At this point, but either way, so great little small town here. So the whole reason why, the men's group I joined, an unaffiliated church, is that the place that I frequent is because that's how the connectivity.
Because we all have a problem.
We all have a problem. And yeah, thanks to James, I was trying to hunt down this tequila he recommended, and I was like, "Yep, that is actually impossible to find."
Been on a tequila kick here lately. Patron Silver, lime.
No, we get some good shit over there.
Well,
look at all my shit over there.
That's
all good shit. Fuck your Patron. Either way,
I drink for effect. What are you talking about?
That's true. Well, that's better effect.
Make the dog stop barking in my head.
That both tastes good and has effect. So
whiskey for taste, vodka for effect.
That's a fair point. I just realized it's 4:30. We should wrap up anyways because the wifey will be leaving work soon.
Cool.
So either way, thanks for coming once again, guys. And of course, if you guys want to write, I'm going to look at the camera. So if you guys want to write into the show with any comments, questions, or whatever, or just leave comments on the YouTube videos, you can do that. But you can hit up the email at NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail@gmail.com. And of course, you can follow me at all the SHOKY related things. All the links are down below, whether that's the original reviews page or the It Doesn't Have to Make Sense live stream channel, where I stream now on Tuesdays and Fridays. It used to be Thursdays and Fridays, but yeah, trivia night. And the wifey's gone at women's group on Tuesdays, so I was like, fuck it, I'm going to start streaming Tuesdays. So that's my all request nights for reactions. I'm getting into some weird music sometimes. Mm-hmm. So it is what it is. And you don't have any socials or anything to follow, so we're good there.
Not
when
yet.
When you do the book, we'll promote it.
Before that will be
4 years in the future.
As soon as I get my shop open and inspected, I'll have a whole line of cooking seasonings, marinades, a whole bunch of stuff like that coming out. I'll be putting out on market.
Oh, hell yeah. That'd be awesome.
I'll bring you some here next week.
Dude.
Yeah, right?
Fucking A. Let's go. It's like, I already have too much shit in the spice cabinet.
Well, this is, fish, chicken, steak, pork.
Yeah.
I mean, everything.
All meat. Yeah. All meats.
Hummus.
It's like Arby's up in this bitch.
We got the meats.
We have the meats.
No, we're from Conroe. We got the meats.
Okay, Squirrely Jeff. All right, so with that, guys, K bye.
Hey, y'all have a good one. Take care.
No, you say K bye.
Bye, K.
That works too.